Good morning and welcome to Breakfast News live on GTV with me, Valencia Tete. This is where we bring you news across the country, international, as well as the weather report. Now the news in detail. 460,611 candidates from 1,003 schools are sitting for this year's West Africa Senior High School Certificate Examination for candidates. The examination officially started yesterday, Wednesday, August 21, with oral English. GBC News visited some examination centers and brought this reports.
High School, Presec Legon, where a total of 1,937 were writing the first paper, oral English. The assistant headmaster of the school in charge of administration is Mr. Prince Agote.
As an institution, our core values which we ensure in our day-to-day activities, one of them is integrity. And as you can see from our board, it is something that we try as much as possible to get our students to adhere to. So we are trusting that with our build-up over the years in preparing them towards this day when they are starting, they will take all the things that we have taken them through.
At some of the schools, the candidates were grouped in badges since the assembly halls cannot accommodate the large numbers. At the Accra High School, the 719 candidates were divided into 3 badges. At the time of the visit, the final batch of candidates were being searched before proceeding to the examination hall. The assistant headmaster of the school, who is also the supervisor, Mr. Fred Opon Ampofo, spoke to GBC News.
We have spoken with our candidates. We have gone through a briefing session with them. We've gone through the do's and don'ts, the regulations, and then we have cautioned them as to what will give them problems. Apart from that, they have gone through the training from Form 1 up to Form 3. They've written a series of exams, and so they have experience when it comes to exams malpractice. And they are very cautious, and we hope that they won't give us any problem.
Police personnel were present to ensure the smooth conduct of the examination. A total of 460,611 registered candidates, comprising of 212,954 males and 247,657 females from 1,003 schools are writing the exams, which ends on Friday, September 20th, 2024.
The West African Examination Council has cautioned all heads of schools, supervisors and invigilators to desist from examination malpractice, as all those involved will be dealt with according to the rules and regulations of the examination. In an earlier interview with GBC News, the head of public affairs at WASSCE, Mr. John Kapi, explained that examination centers that do not adhere to the regulations will be relocated to WASSCE designation centers.
The issue of technology obviously is something that we have considered. In a number of countries, they have piloted the computer-based testing. My message is a simple one, that they have been through the system for the past 3 years. I believe that the teachers have been available to teach them. The exam is taking place at this time because they were supposed to be given the opportunity to complete the academic calendar. So they've done that. We believe strongly that every single person who has registered would be able to pass the examination without cheating. They should avoid any form of collusion, taking foreign material into the examination hall, mobile phones, and any other electronic gadgets, so as to prevent them from getting into any such trouble like having their papers cancelled, or them being barred from writing the exam for a number of years.
A research initiative which seeks to address gender disparities in employment across Africa has begun. Researchers from South Africa Levy Economics Institute and University of Ghana Economic Department are focusing on gender disparity in employment security in Ghana and South Africa. The findings are expected to propose practical solutions and policy changes at the national and regional levels.
Across Africa, Women face significant disparities in job security and employment opportunities compared to their male counterparts. Despite strides towards gender equality, several factors contribute to this imbalance, affecting economic growth and social stability. In response to this pressing issue, researchers from Ghana and South Africa have embarked on a pioneering project. Their mission is to address and bridge the gender gap in job stability and employment opportunities. South Africa's Levy Economics Institute and the University of Ghana Department for Economics project will involve a detailed data collection and analysis. The researchers will be delving into the root causes of job insecurity among women, exploring factors such as educational gaps, economic barriers, legal challenges, and pension. Professor Abino Drew is the lead investigator for Ghana and speaks about the timeliness of the project.
As we are thinking about employment, we don't only just consider wages and wage gaps, we also look at the extent to which laws and provisions are made to ensure that both women and men avoid unemployment, for example, and that they do have the right to work.
Professor Ajit Zacharias is with the Levy Economics Institute and the brain behind the gender parity studies.
We want to look at the overall institutional structure in the two countries, the labor market institutions, that shape the capacity of workers, of employed people, to achieve a reasonable standard of living. What are the impediments for that? And that includes strong institutions for economic security are needed to make the employed population develop the capability in them to attain a decent standard of living.
This collaborative research project marks a significant step towards achieving gender equality in employment across Africa. Reporting for GBC News, Gifty AJ, Accra.
When disaster strikes and when duty calls, a group of people lend their time, talent and voices to make a difference in their communities. As we shine light on the people and reason that inspired them to serve, the president of the Global Volunteer Corps, Mr. Stephen Daku, is urging Ghanaians especially to become patriotic and active citizens to promote the national quest for development.
The Global Volunteers Corps is dedicated to promoting volunteerism and active citizenship for positive social change. The group seeks to create a world where communities are empowered to thrive and individuals come together to make a positive impact on global scale. The president of Global Volunteers Corps, Mr. Stephen Daku, said volunteerism was a philosophy and a mindset that transcends borders by empowering individuals to rise above challenges by assisting others, contributing their skills, time and energy for a better society.
Especially they encourage more to indulge themselves in voluntary activities, voluntary actions, because through volunteerism, there are a lot of opportunities that will come your way. Through volunteerism, a lot of doors can open up to you. So let us all encourage ourselves to get ourselves involved in voluntary actions.
Resident Director of the Wager Leprosarium, Reverend Father Andrew Campbell, who is famed for his work with vulnerable people, especially the lepers in Ghana, urged the youth to cultivate the spirit of volunteerism and not to look for immediate gains in almost every undertaking or assignment, adding that volunteerism could open doors for friendship, jobs, opportunities, and favors.
They're willing to give themselves, a service to other people. That what they have, they want to share. They're dealing with people who have nothing, who've been devastated by floods, devastated by HIV, devastated by poverty and rest. And here they are, the young people are coming to bring them hope. They bring them hope that don't give up. Don't give up. Continue fighting. Continue, doing your best.
The country director of Global Volunteers Corps, Ms. Grace Aka, said volunteerism is a force that has the power to transform lives, uplift communities, and inspire hope to others, especially the youth.
Traders at the Madina market have up to 31st August 2024 to move their wares to enable reconstruction of the market stores to take place. This follows a meeting with the leadership of the Centenary Municipal Assembly. On Monday, the traders protested on an information they received about the deadline for their evacuation. The traders say they have reached an agreement with the assembly to move temporarily for the redevelopment of the market to take place.
The Assembly's discussion with the traders follows agitations about steps being taken for the redevelopment of the Madina market. On Tuesday, the traders at the Madina market raised concerns about where the redevelopment will begin and the number of beneficiaries for the new stalls. The Assembly promised that the initial 56 stalls will be increased to benefit all traders. Redevelopment will also begin at the portion of the market that caught fire before it is extended to other areas. The traders also agreed to move their wares by the 31st of August to enable the construction to take place. The Municipal Chief Executive of the La Nkwantanan Municipal Assembly, Mrs. Jennifer Dede Ajabing, was satisfied with the discussions with the traders.
As for the designs, once there's a story building, that's the design that it will take. The people who are going to be occupying sheds, you agree with me that we cannot do sheds as a story building. So there were some hearsays from certain quarters that the design was going to be altered. Those were all first. We've agreed with them what has to be done. And like you can see, they are all happy. There's nobody here whose concern we haven't addressed. We've addressed all concerns, and I'm happy that we are all on the same page to allow for the construction.
The traders said they were happy that the Assembly has addressed their concerns and are ready to cooperate with the redevelopment process.
The
redevelopment of the Madina market is expected to be completed in 3 months.
You're still watching Breakfast News Live on GTV. We are streaming across all our social media platforms. In Accra on Wednesday, the Media Foundation for West Africa held a public forum on media, peace and democratic consolidation in Ghana. The media's role in promoting peaceful elections, curbing misinformation and ensuring accountability in governance was central in the dialogue. There was a call for a code of ethics and guidelines to better manage hate speech in the country.
Hate speech incites violence and intolerance. It has become one of the most common ways of spreading divisive rhetoric on a global scale, threatening peace around the world. To reduce its impact, the Executive Director of the Media Foundation for West Africa, Mr. Suleimana Brahima, was emphatic about fact-checking and urged the media to be intentional about promoting peace in their reportage.
It is time for us to be inquisitive, to be interrogative, and to insist on people proving whatever they claim. If the Ghanaian media decides that in these elections, pro-violence, violent rhetoric and all of that must be something that people should not tolerate, the political parties will reform.
A board member of the National Peace Council, Mrs. Joanna Opare, said no one should die because of an election. She said Ghana must maintain the peace before, during and after the election. The Kono of Manyakrobo and the president of the Eastern Regional House of Chiefs, Nene Sakite II, pointed at the need to eschew hate speech as a country.
I urged our Legislative Assembly to pass a law that would discourage people, especially politicians and their followers, from using hate speech and the spread of misinformation.
There was a panel discussion on the role of political parties in countering hate speech, promoting community resilience, and a peaceful election in 2024. Panelists called for enhanced media literacy among the public to help mitigate the spread of misinformation and foster an informed citizenry. For GBC News, Yaira Lawe reporting.
Now let's do some political stories. The Policyability campaign trail of presidential candidates of the NPP made stops at Achimota, Swedro and Achanse constituency in the Eastern region on Monday and Tuesday. At the various Community Connect sessions, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia shared his vision of bold solutions for jobs and businesses as the roadmap to job creation, resilient economy, and prepare Ghana for the fourth industrial revolution.
The NPP presidential candidate Dr. Mahmoud Baumia began his tour from Achimota, where he engaged traditional leaders, religious leaders, and other faith-based organizations. It was an opportunity for the leaders to put forth their concerns. Dr. Baumia explained the 14 critical points in his bold solutions for jobs and business manifesto, which include low taxes, jobs, improved business environment, industrialization, digitization, industrial agriculture, infrastructure development, and harnessing Ghana's natural resources. From the stakeholder engagement, Dr. Baumia met with the youth in his usual Youth Connect at Ada, where he presented his youth-oriented policies. These include putting 1 million youth in digital skills such as blockchain, technologies, artificial intelligence, data analytics, cloud computing, robotics and engineering, quantum computing, digital manufacturing, and mobile internet. Dr. Baumia moved to the Achimota Central Market. He inspected the level of work of the newly constructed market and used the opportunity to interact with the market women. Achimota constituency was the next port of call. Here, Dr. Baumia joined a debate of chiefs and people and later inaugurated the Achanse District Hospital. The 40-bed capacity hospital was started in 2020 and is ready for operation. The facility will serve the Achanse Township and its surrounding communities. Dr. Baumia later told the gathering that the NPP government has delivered lots of development and must be maintained to do more.
And then the drones, the moja, the vaccines, eco hospitals. Drones, na yeli equal. Now drones, no, they save lives. Every day, over 100 flights of drones. Uo, efuoma, wawakawa. Na uhia edra na umwa be a phone call na drones no edro no Abasa Health Center.
The campaign team was also at Swedro. His first engagement in the constituency was with the chiefs. Dr. Baumia told the people the initiatives and projects the NPP government has undertaken to improve the lives of Ghanaians. He urged them to vote for him to continue with the project. He proceeded to the Swedro market where he interacted with the women. The tour ended with a community connect at Achimda. Party bigwigs in the region, including former senior minister Mr. Yaosafo Mafo, addressed the gathering and urged them to vote for the NPP. Dr. Baumia told the people that the NPP's record stands tall among all the political parties contesting for the election.
It is possible. Yeba free SHS. If you watch me, Yadiaba, Yaba Maria Manu, Omuntia, school fees, Emma, senior high school.
Dr. Baumia urged the people to vote for him to bring on board ideas and initiatives that will make Ghana a major player in the digital world.
The presidential candidates for the New Patriotic Party, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, will host a media engagement on Sunday, August 25, 2024 in Accra. This comes a week after the NPP launched its manifesto. The meeting with journalists is to enable the presidential aspirant to give the public an understanding of his vision ahead of the December polls and also use the platform as a proper contest for conversation on the NPP manifesto. A statement issued by the Director of Communications said Dr. Bawumia is strongly convinced that Ghanaians deserve to have a complete view and proper understanding of the vision of their leaders before the December polls. Still on political stories, continuing her tour of Tema East in the Greater Accra region, Professor Nana Jinopoko-Agyemang engaged with market women and traders across 3 constituencies with a shape of focus on the flagship of 24-hour economy policy initiative.
Professor Nana Jinopoko-Agyemang's store began with an interaction with traders at the Community 1 market in the Tema East constituency. A large gathering of artisans, drivers, market women and other entrepreneurs, along with party faithful, eagerly awaited their message of hope, which is captured in the NDC's 2024 manifesto. Several traders took turns to share their concerns and frustrations.
Bianca Ojabokina Nioba 500 million. Nijilo le feke amu ebemi. Dadi obaya amu ye sefami. Biane sefa denche ya 300. Ni won chake sefa denche otawa wona. Kawa keba amu e bedo obaya ashe bi amu efe po.
Sense ye gina hoyi. Ade friend se mako, broni friend pepe. Nyadua, broni friend gardeners. Yentimi nto obi wo dwamha na maame ne ka Santos ne de eye west sese yesre maame ye bunu nkotodwe ye parichaw lonu a woso de be maye no me fi so de maye a ma ye wo Ghana nyina ye ho beto yen on hwe se NDC fo MPP fo wase women bank
so ye NDC si ye MPP fo se oba bank ne be boaye esanse ye sika nyina ahye enu nti ye pesika ye kwa banka omun bisa ye nia ye famra nsa na ya beje ye da ye ma me ase papa ma nyame onhyiraw so di se sika we enu ba be ma ye dwamfo nyame onhyiraw bebre
ye won be da wa Ghana because ye ton cabbage is 4,000 35 yatiminto. It's a pay mammy just on boy a market for a bread. 8 years in a year, so Ghana for more boy, Naya mammy bra. Now boy a market for 90 ma.
Professor Poko-Agyemang encouraged the traders and artisans not to lose hope despite the hardships imposed by the Akufo-Addo Bawumia administration. She explained that the 24-hour economic policy and the Women's Development Bank are key solutions to alleviating their struggles when the NDC is voted back to power. Professor Nana Jinopoko-Agyemang took the opportunity to urge eligible Ghanaians to participate in the ongoing EC voter exhibition exercise to ensure their data is accurately captured, emphasizing that this is the only way to secure an NDC victory and reset the country on the trajectory of progress.
Away from our political stories, Africa's top public health agencies, Africa Center for Disease Control and Prevention, says the Democratic Republic of Congo and other countries on the continent could start vaccinating against mpox within days. The DRC is the epicenter of a more deadly strain of the virus that emerged last year and has subsequently spread to some of other African states, with confirmed cases in at least 3 countries outside the continent.
Last week, the World Health Organization declared the spread of the new strain a public health emergency of international concern. The Africa Center for Disease Control and Prevention says vaccine doses are ready and due to arrive shortly. This follows pledges by the European Union, vaccine maker Bavarian Nordic, the United States, and Japan. The center says it has been working on logistics and communication strategies with countries experiencing mpox outbreaks in order to facilitate the rollout. Its Director General, Jean Kassiya, said it was important to make sure everything was properly in place to ensure the vaccines will be safely stored and correctly administered. The total number of cases in Africa has risen to almost 19,000 since the start of 2024, with over 90% of the cases in the DRC.
Barack and Michelle Obama gave resounding endorsements of Kamala Harris on Tuesday night at the Democratic National Convention, exhorting party supporters across the U.S. to turn out and vote to defeat Donald Trump in November. Hope is making a comeback, Mrs. Obama told the crowd at the DNC in Chicago, echoing her husband's campaign promise of hope and change.
In their back-to-back speeches, the Democratic Party's most popular figures praised Ms. Harris while excoriating Trump, whose presidency was characterized by bluster and chaos in the words of Mr. Obama. But the couple also warned their party not to lose sight of what remains an extremely tight race amidst the enthusiasm for Ms. Harris's campaign. They stressed the election will be decided in a handful of key swing states. Mr. Obama emphasized America's preparedness for a new chapter, adding, "We are ready for a President Kamala Harris, and Kamala Harris is ready for the job," unquote. The Obamas appealed to Democrats to turn out in November, exposed a deeper party anxiety about the narrow race between Ms. Harris and Trump, who retains a tight hold on his loyal base of supporters across the country. Ms. Harris has a narrow lead in national polling averages, but pollsters caution that the race remains a virtual tie in the handful of battleground states that will ultimately decide who wins under America's electoral college system. Though Ms. Harris is technically the incumbent candidate, she has described herself and her running mate, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, as the underdogs in the race.
Now let's have the Alpha Lotto for Wednesday. Alpha Lotto winning numbers for Wednesday is 77, 78, 77, 79, 44, 41, 20. Alpha Lotto winning numbers for Wednesday again: 77, 77, 79, 79, 44, 44, 41, 41, 20, 20. Val and Carfu join me to give us updates for today's program.
Good morning, you did? Yeah, good job. Okay, so what's going on?
So today is we are going to the Fruits and Vegetable Festival, and so we have a group from Eating. We are in-house, so we're going to be learning about fruits and vegetables, probably where to get them, their uses and whatnot. And then we're also looking at the power of investment later on with financial literacy class stuff.
Yes, Rabbi comes on.
Rabbi is
or
on.
Damian San.
Yes, Rabbi. And then the GRA is in with domestic tax education.
Indeed.
And so I'm sure there'll be some education going on there. And then there's a segment on health community of West Africa.
Of course.
They'll be in here for a discussion as well. There's the headlines with you and the guys.
Indeed, and it's Throwback Thursday, so watch out for some really old stuff and some surprises. This is GTV Breakfast. Welcome. Good morning.
The Breakfast Show.
Things up a bit. It's not a regular kitchen, but we are talking fruits and vegetables because it's the Fruits and Vegetables Festival. This is the 8th edition, the 7 editions we have in studio. Some guests are going to be telling us about it. But it's a celebration to celebrate nature's bounty, health, and sustainability. And this festival brings communities, farmers, enthusiasts to appreciate the diverse array of fruits and vegetables that nourish our bodies and delight our senses. In studio, I have the beautiful Catherine Korboy-Duse. She's founding MD, Eden Tree, and Dr. Felix Kamasa. He's managing director and board member, Mayflix Trust Ghana Limited. And they're going to be telling us what to expect on this edition. But first, let me start with you, Catherine, because I'm gender biased right now. How did this festival, what started it, what was the inception, and tell us about the previous editions?
Okay, so we have a membership of SMEs, small companies who are into fruits and vegetables, farmers. So the festival is to bring all of them together, farmers together, so that we network, we exhibit our products for the public to see what is available in the sector. So that's how this started.
Okay, and 7 editions so far. How has that gone?
Oh, it's gone very well. So this has come to stay. So annually, we are going to be having the festival.
Okay, and so tell us about the very first festival. Do you remember how it went? Do you remember the challenges and how you got over it?
Yes, you know, yes.
It's Thursday, you know.
With everything, the first one comes with challenges. So organizing the fair was a bit of a challenge. But now, with having 7, we are now more experienced now. So it is far better now than
what
the
was
first
your
one.
biggest challenge?
It's putting things together, and you know, last minute stuff. You know, you have to get this chairs, canopies. You know, the organization.
It's always the last minute thing.
Yes.
Is that a Ghanaian thing?
I can't tell.
Or it's just an event organizer
Maybe it's
thing?
logistics, you know, traffic, everything put together, lumped together. It's a challenge sometimes.
Okay, Dr. Kamasa, have you been with the festival from day one?
No, I joined. I think that was the third year.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So basically, it was all the, like what my sister was saying. All the SMEs in the industry, anything concerning about fruit and vegetable and added product. That is the processing one, processing the fruit to juice and other things. We come together, want to celebrate this festival to let the people know, the public know that Ghana, we have our own vegetable quality product available where people can consume, because people think other way around, that the better things come from outside. Where we believe in ourselves, so we want to let the public know that believe in us, we can able to produce for you to consume. So getting closer to Christmas, we normally create this awareness to people to know that you can get a good quality produce available from farm gate all the way to the shop. So basically, that's the motive of putting these people together, so that people can understand. It comes from the production, quality production, all the way to the packaging. So people can understand what we have in Ghana. So these are the reasons why we mark up this. Every year we want to celebrate, expose some of the product we have. And the people can understand this product very well. And they will know what they are consuming and know where it's coming from.
Okay. On the back of that, this is coming at a time where Ghanaians are bemoaning the high prices of vegetables. You are experts and you make it possible for us to have these. What do you say about that, if I would ask your expert opinion?
Yes, truly things are, we are in a high time. Climate is one of the issues we are facing. And then the exchange rate, because production cost is high. When the production cost is high, it cut across, because it's a value chain. The transportation cost also will be high. And labor costs will go up. Packaging materials will go up. So when you put all those things together, price of produce will be up. I know 2 months ago, tomatoes issue. People are crying for tomatoes. But they should have confidence that things are getting normal. The challenge is we don't have production throughout the year. What is the challenge? Our irrigation farms, we need a commercialization farm where the smallholder farm, one corner, smallholder farmers can take advantage on that. Because vegetable production without water, quality, if you don't have water within 2 weeks, your product will be crying. So you could see those are some of the challenges. Ghana will cry for volume of water. When the rain season starts, it destroys our crop. During the dry season, within 2 months, it's also destroy our crop. So we have to be thinking a way, if policymakers are listening to us, we are crying to them that they have to look at it, how they can have irrigation land available,
okay,
where one SME farmers like 1 acre, 2 acres can take advantage, can go to those clusters of irrigation farm to produce so that we can able to supply to. So sometimes when it happens like that, those people who are commercial farmers,
okay, yeah,
they are the people sustain that short period, because you know when the rain starts, everybody starts producing. When they produce, that short period, the product is out of the season. And this year, the climate was so massive. We started experiencing this from 4 years ago, but this year things change other way around. So this is where we have to be thinking about. But we already want to produce and save the produce for you people to consume. Quality produce. So those are some of the challenges. But price keep on coming down. The dollar is issue because most of the input they import them. We don't produce our major input here. Most of fertilizer they blend them here. Those are some of the few challenges, and you cut across. When it happens like that, fuel price also go up. Before somebody will transport a product from Kumasi to Accra, the cost of transportation alone is high. So the market woman have to pass on the cost of the transportation on the produce. So those are some of the technicality challenges we are having in the industry.
Okay, is the road network, is it a challenge to farmers in getting produce to the consumer?
It's a challenge. You know, we realize that most of the road, when you look at the sector, the focus is on cocoa road. That's where the policymakers think about. But the SME on the vegetable sector play a key role, because if you are talking about employment, any youth want to start agriculture, you're thinking about vegetable production, because within 90 days he's seeing result. Within 2 days, lettuce, within 2 months he's seeing result. So those are the area. But they forget about that sector, focus on cocoa road. So sometimes a farmer go to the farm, it rain heavily, the road net cuts off. And then what happens is that he can't transport his goods. So he have to find another mean, which will cost him. For example, how much is tuber of yam now? Very expensive, because they have to pull the yam, use a tractor, continue pulling it. Even it takes 3 days for some of the farmers to transport the yam from the sector, from the farm to maybe nearby district before they transport it to Accra.
But then half of the stuff will go bad.
Yes, it go bad. So post-harvest management also come in. So those are some of the real challenges we are facing at the sector.
I like that, the real challenges. I hope that this festival will highlight some of these challenges.
Because of that, we want to let them know, the public to understand that it's not maybe Tree who sit down and price, or is the association price the tomatoes price to be higher. It's a real challenges. So if you sit down, you want to look at, because agriculture is a value chain, from the production all the way, transportation all the way to the market gate. So those are some of the challenges.
Okay, right. So let's talk about the festival, and hopefully some of these challenges that have been highlighted, there'll be lasting solutions. And so when is the festival happening? What are the highlights? Catherine?
Yes.
So Doctor has been speaking for a long time.
So the festival is starting on the 5th of September. And then up to the 7th of September, it's for 3 days, which is a Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So at the festival, we highlight the challenges as well. We have sessions. So one of the biggest challenge that SMEs complain about is access to finance. So there will be a session on access to finance. We have the experts come and then give a talk. And then we also have experts who come and talk about irrigation, come and talk about digital, how to set up your farm with the digital inputs. And it's a network of also discussing the difficulties. There's a lot of difficulties in this sector. And hopefully, as every year we do this and we keep harping on, we keep talking about it, someone will listen, because water is a challenge. But the issue is sometimes the dam is flooding areas with water because they have to, it's getting full.
Yeah, they have to spill.
They have to spill. And then other times we hear farmers complaining, there's no rain. So which is which? You know, why should rainwater during the raining season, why should it go back into the sea? Why can't we trap it? You know, why can't we do channels? So if Burkina Faso is spilling their dam, why don't they channel that water into dams that can be used rather than it destroying communities?
Homes and communities.
Exactly. So it is all about policy and implementation.
Policy and implementation.
Implementation. Sometimes you go, you see perfect policies, but it's not being implemented. Yeah.
Just talk shop.
Exactly.
Who is invited?
The public is invited.
Okay.
And then with the fair, with SMEs, you have to register to exhibit your products.
Okay. When does registration start? Or when does it start?
Registration is ongoing.
Okay. Where do people go to register?
Has that been shown in the...
No, not yet.
Yes.
I guess these pictures are from previous events. Can you guess which particular edition was this one?
Can you help with the registration of the vendors?
This is the last edition.
Okay, so where is this year's edition going to be held?
It's at the Kwame Nkrumah Mausoleum.
Kwame Nkrumah Mausoleum.
Yes.
5th to 7th September. What times
it starts from
do the sessions begin?
Yes, daily starts at 10 to 5.
Okay, and that's it. People, the details for the 8th Ghana Fruit and Vegetable Fair 2024 is from the 5th to the 7th of September. Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park and Mausoleum. It begins at 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. daily, people. And so you can get to go there. It's the weekend, working together, taking horticulture to the next level. And I believe that's the theme for this year's celebration.
Yes.
So the next level, I want to talk a bit about next level. The next level, we are looking at agriculture in terms of using technology to improve our production, quality. When you go around, you see how people apply fertilizer. There's no measurement on it, even water control. Want to leverage on digitalization to control the farm so that you will know exactly of output out of whatever you are doing on 1 acre. You know exactly quantity of lettuce you can get from 1 acre. So that's why we come out with this team, taking it to next level so that people to understand. So it's open to the public. People should come there, understand. People will be there to talk about pest management, quality. She mentioned finances. People will be there and talk about it. Irrigation system, people will be there, irrigation experts will be there, talk about irrigation. Because now, where we are now, you can't do agriculture without irrigation. We are in a difficult time. Prices keep on going up. After COVID, we think that the prices will rather come down. But it's still escalating.
It's stuck and then it kept on
so it's something we are looking at it to tell the public that we should come together and work together, take agriculture to the next level. That's the reason why we are celebrating this time, fruit and vegetable fair. So we'll be there. So anybody who need any proper engagement, they should come around and listen to the experts. Then we can take agriculture to the next level.
Yes, and in addition to, there'll be produce for sale to the public, you know, good quality products.
Yes, indeed.
And then added value products as well.
Is there also going to be a session during these days where you're going to teach young people how to farm? Because we are now learning agriculture is the new gold. Is there going to be a session like that?
Yes, so there'll be a session with the experts that will advise the farmers. And then the good thing too is that on Saturday, we know that families have children, young children. So we will have a bouncy castle on that day so that the children can also play. So it's going to be a family togetherness.
So just give us some expert tips. How do we keep our fruits and vegetables safe?
Cold temperature. You know, one of the issues that we struggle with the post-harvest losses is the heat.
Okay.
You know, so with fruits and vegetables, it's better to keep it in a cool temperature. That gives it a long shelf life.
Okay. And so what are some of the products we are going to be seeing at the fair? Who are some of the people we are going to be seeing? What are we expecting? Highlights?
So we are going to be seeing vegetables.
Okay.
We're going to be seeing sweet potato, yams, tomatoes, all fruits and vegetables, in addition to products that have been processed out of fruits and vegetables.
Okay, like this?
Yeah, so this is fruit juice.
Okay, okay.
That has been processed, and that's orange and pineapple mix.
Okay, so
okay, and then
cameras will catch that.
And then the powder, Felix.
Okay.
Yeah, that's sweet potato flour.
That's sweet potato flour.
Sweet potato flour.
Yes. So you can bake.
Bread.
Yes,
yeah,
for bread. It's actually that's the bread that I eat, sweet potato bread. I don't eat any other bread.
Oh, you should have brought a slice. Oh wow. Okay, and this is.
That's Gary.
Okay, this is Gary.
Gary from cassava.
Okay.
You know,
and
so
then, this is sweet potato Gary as well.
So Gary mixed with sweet potato. Sweet potato actually has a lot of nutrition.
Okay.
You know,
Share some with us.
So that's a sweet potato expert standing next to you.
Okay, share some with us.
You can use it for bread.
Sweet potato Gary.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can use it for Gary photo.
Okay, Gary photo.
Yes. Snack.
Okay.
The juice, you can use it the same thing with the pineapple with the juice. Yeah.
Okay. So in wrapping up, Dr. Kamasa, give us the highlights of what to expect on the 5th to the 7th of September.
This fair, we are inviting everybody to come around.
Okay.
People will have a lot of produce there to sell.
Okay.
And want people to network. You can be at home and order for your produce. That's the reason why we are doing this. We want to take advantage in terms of what happened during the COVID time.
Okay.
The market keep on growing. We know you people, when you are in the office, you don't go to the market. Only Saturday you normally go to the market. But we want you to play safe, because now consumers are thinking about health conscious. So we want you to come around and see the quality produce you have there. There you start.
Clean.
Yes, clean vegetable with a good quality certification. So from 5th to 7th, we'll be there. When you are coming, let your purse to be full. At least try to purchase something to encourage this fair.
What's the minimum? What's the minimum?
The minimum, minimum 200, 100 cedis, 200 cedis. Okay. You can be able to acquire.
But it may not buy you much.
So the little
come with your purse full, so that you can shop for 2 weeks at least.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
Because some of the vegetables last longer in the fridge. The shelf life is like almost a month, 2 months. Some of the products you can keep them.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, which vegetable can last for a month
even
on the shelf?
Tomatoes can last for a month if you keep it in a fridge well. Okra is there. Sweet potato can take like 2 months.
Yeah.
Aubergine, the same
cold
thing.
temperature. That
so it depends how you handle your vegetable.
Okay.
That's the most important thing.
Okay.
And then the other issue too is that we are also trying to encourage producers to get certification. So we have a Ghana Green Label that certifies the farmers.
Right.
And then also for pack houses and production and adding value, you can go for HACCP certification.
Okay, right.
And that is also done by Ghana Standards Board. So Eden Tree is HACCP certified.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
And so fruits and vegetables, the 8th edition is happening from the 5th to the 7th of September. Registration ongoing. These are details as to how you can get registered. If you go on their website, you can get registered there. This is an opportunity if you're looking to go into farming, to meet the experts and to lead you. Agriculture is the new gold, people. This is where we are heading. Thank you so much. We've been having this conversation with Catherine Krobwe-Duse. She's founder MD, Eden Tree, and Dr. Felix Kamasa. He's managing director and board member, Mayflix Trust Ghana Limited. We've been talking Fruits and Vegetables Festival, the 8th edition. We'll see you after this break.
Absolutely awesome. Mini Bribia Medida WASSCE. The tune just gone with us many gracing the morning for us. It's still GTV. Breakfast time is 6 minutes after 7 a.m. God bless you for staying with us. You have chosen the right and the true voice of the nation. Thank you very much. It is 100 years of impacting the world, 100 years of impacting generations, and 100 years of the grace of God. This is the Calvary Methodist Church celebrating 100 years of the Methodist Church in Ghana. We're joined this morning by members of the anniversary committee, especially from the Calvary Methodist Church, and we have with us Mrs. Grace Amonu, in keeping with protocol, please. Mrs. Grace Amonu, welcome and thank you very much for joining us. Also with us is Evangelist Kingsford Amoa. He has also been a former superintendent of the church, but this morning he's here in the capacity of the chairman of the anniversary committee. Osofo, thank you very much for joining us. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm not Osofo, I'm evangelist. We were expecting the superintendent minister, but I think he's not here yet.
Okay.
I am evangelist Kingsford Amoa.
Oh, okay.
Chairman of the anniversary planning committee.
Wonderful. For us Pentecostals, when we meet evangelists or pastor, we lump all of us into one and call us Osofo. So
thank you for making me Osofo this morning. Thank you.
That's awesome. Anyway, it's been 100 years of impact, 100 years of unwavering faith in the triune God, and 100 years of spirit-filled or spiritual growth, and 100 years of discipleship. Awesome. This is how the Lord has, or how far the Lord has brought the Calvary Methodist Church at the Braka. To start straight into the discussion, let's look at it. How has the journey been, and what has been some of the challenges you have faced in the 100 years?
The journey of 100 years has been awesome. Wonderful. Awesome. By the grace of God, we started in the early 1920s. It began as a Sunday school to teach the children of the Fanti community to be able to speak and write the Fanti language. And it developed from there. It grew to start as an evening service, and a lot of the accounts in Accra at that time joined. Then a morning service, and that was at Jamestown in Accra. It became so big that a land was sought at Adabraka, Barnes Road. And our first church building was put up. And in 1965, March 1965, that new building was dedicated. And there began what we now call the Calvary Methodist Church. Initially, it was called Fanti Asor.
Fantasor. Within the Methodist fraternity was known as the Fantasor.
As a society of the Methodist Church Ghana. Then Fantasor developed to the current Calvary Methodist Church.
Thank you very much. Mrs. Amon, let me bring you in. Please tell us some of the success stories of Fantasor.
Fantasor has been very, very successful. We have,
Amen.
If you look around Accra, we have actually given birth to other societies. And they are big. We can say that they can stand tall. They stand tall among their equals. Mount Olivet Methodist Church in Dansuman. You can't miss it. And then Gethsemane around Mamprobi. And then,
you birthed Gethsemane as well?
Yes, we did.
Wonderful.
Yeah. And you'll be surprised. New Achimota, St. John Methodist Church, New Achimota. East Airport, we are right in the Spinters Road, Reggie Manuel Estate.
Right.
A big church there.
Right.
Beautiful.
Emmanuel
Methodist Church, we birthed that one. And then we went as far as Adjurigano. On the new road where they're building, you see a beautiful chapel there. And then we moved far, 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 even beyond our shores, to Oti region to start another society there.
Hey,
Kwame Krum. Yes, Kwame Krum.
I know Kwame Krum very well.
And if you know that, we even started one in Plantain to cater for the nurses and the doctors at the psychiatric hospital. So we've really impacted. We've really done very, very well.
Given that you've mentioned you've impacted, let me bring on Evangelist Amoa. And it would simply be, what has been your impact, not only within the Methodist fraternity, but also Ghana as a whole?
Well, as a church, our impact has been that within the church, as my sister said, we've developed other churches which have become big in the community of the church. As a society, we've developed schools. There is a school at Abraka, set up in the 1938.
Wow.
Yeah, that Calvary runs. We developed a vocational institute in Ejingano to train the young people, the young ladies in the society, in the community. We have an international school at Ejingano, also at Ejingano, which is serving the community in that area. Calvary Methodist Church, indeed, has been one of the biggest societies in the Methodist family. So we are saying faith in the triune God, we've impacted the world.
It is the bit that really stirs me. Faith in the triune God.
Faith in the triune God. Impacting the world.
Thank you very much. Let me go for a quick break, and when I come back, I'm going to find out what the reflections of the last 100 years has been and where we're going with the next 100 years. Stay with me. Just enjoying this morning with the grace of the Methodist, our Calvary Methodist committee chairman, anniversary committee chairman, anniversary committee member, and then finally to top it up, we have the very Reverend Emmanuel Ayi. Also for Oya Fantasy and Zakwaba. Also, it's been 100 years. What will be your reflections over the last 100 years, and where are we going? What are we looking at in the next 100 years?
Yes, that's a very, very, very good question.
Thank you very much.
Because we have refreshed viewers with what God has used this church for so far. We believe that all that can be seen as a foundation.
Okay.
We now can fly.
Wow.
By God's grace, with a very solid background, very rich history, very resourceful people, and with God's own blessing, we believe that we can still even do more than what we have done so far for the Lord and for the Methodist Church Ghana.
Wonderful, wonderful. Let me bring on Mrs. Amono, and because you're a member of the anniversary committee, I would have gone to the chairman, but let me bring that to you. I'll go to the chairman with some of the interesting ones to know as far as the anniversary is concerned. What will you say are some of the activities planned for the celebrations?
We have a whole year, so we have at every segment we've decided to have a float, an evangelism float, throughout Accra,
right,
for showing Christ, our Savior.
Right.
We're going to have a medical outreach in deprived communities, even outside our environment.
Okay.
We're going to feature our children and the youth because they're the future. So we planned a lot of activity for them, Bible teachings, sketches that will show them what the future is for them.
Mm.
We're going to have an anniversary celebration with a big bang. Well, at the end of it all, we're going to have the Thanksgiving. Huge. That will be next year. That will be next year.
Next year. Wonderful. Also, I am almost out of time, so let me bring this to you, and it will be our final word. Who are we expecting as your guest of honor to climax the celebration, and what will be the activities for the main celebration?
The main one or the lunch?
Well,
the main one.
Yeah.
For this Sunday, we are expecting as our special guest the head of state.
The president,
yes.
His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo.
Yes,
Wonderful.
and the first lady.
What? Oh, wow.
But for next year, we are not there yet. But we believe that one too will involve a very special person.
Wonderful.
Of the land.
Wonderful.
But then supported by our presiding bishop.
Okay.
And
right.
And the group we refer to in our church as the executive. So our lay president, and then our presiding bishop.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. It has been 100 years of unwavering faith in the triune God, 100 years of impacting Ghana and the nations, 100 years of discipleship. And this is how far the Lord has brought the Calvary Methodist Church. You have heard from them. It's 100 years of celebration, and it's a whole year celebration. This, so far, is where I'll draw the curtain on this morning's discussion with the Methodist Church, and keep on watching GTV Breakfast. Coming up next, though, is a very interesting one with the sporting world. Thank you.
for the updates of sports on GTV and GTV Sports Plus. My name is Akusia AJ. Good morning and thank you for joining us. In our first story, the second round of the Ghana Beach Soccer Premier League kicked off with a goal first as thrilling games marked the intense action across both zones. Zone 1 leaders Cheetah Beach Soccer Club recorded the biggest win on the day, 10-1 victory over Teshi United.
Zone 1 recorded 28 goals on match day 8 in the ongoing Ghana Beach Soccer Premier League. Winners of the last season in Zone 1, Cheetah Beach Soccer, continued their dominance with a ruthless 10-1 thrashing of Teshi United. The win has tightened their grip at the top of the league table. Close contenders Layoka Beach Soccer also put up a big fight to fend off a potential comeback from Nungwa Beach Soccer Club, picking up the maximum 3 points in a 5-4 victory. Sea Sharks are still in the race as they also continue their push for top spot by beating Dansoman by 4-2. In Zone 2, this season's surprise package, Voje Iron Breakers remain top of the pile despite being held to an exciting 3-3 draw by Keji Miracle. Last season's champions, Adan Assurance, suffered another setback in their title defense, losing a 9-goal thriller, 5-4 to bottom club Tegby Ocean Stars. The final game of the weekend saw 3-time league champions Keta Sunset lose for the second straight weekend as their arch rivals, Haveji Mighty Warriors, dealt them a tough defeat. The league season continues next weekend at the Cheetah Den at Senyabreku in the Central Region and the Keta Emancipation Beach in the Volta Region.
Well, in some other stories, Ghana Police men's hockey team held league leaders Exchequers of the Bank of Ghana to a 1-1 draw. The encounter was a match day 13 fixture in the ongoing Greater Accra Safolda Hockey League.
The clash between policemen and Exchequers of Bank of Ghana was one of the top of the table clashes in the ongoing Greater Accra Safolda Hockey League match, the 30 lineup. For Ghana policemen, a win will be a great comeback after suffering 3 straight defeats in the second round. Exchequers, who have been on an excellent run after losing their opening fixture this season, were looking for another win to wrap up the season with a game to spare. Again, with police being the only side to hand them their first defeat this season, Exchequers were looking for a revenge. The two teams were tactical. Samuel Mensah put police ahead on the 16th minute through a field goal. The two sides created loads of goal-scoring opportunities but missed all. Exchequers exerted pressure and in the fourth quarter got a goal. Daniel Bempa scored from a field goal. The encounter ended 1-1. Captain of Ghana policemen, Obed Asante, said a win would have been better for them.
It is a well-planned tactical game we came to play today because we know how they play. So we know for about 4 years now they have been beating us. So we're motivated to play against them. And we need at this point at least to push us up the ladder. But we are okay with the draw that we got. We knew they would be coming at us. It's rather unfortunate that they had a chance and then score the goal. A win would have been much better, but we are okay with the draw. That's what we got, so we'll take it like that.
Captain of Exchequers, Elike Makaba, praised Ghana Police for giving them a good match.
Unfortunately, it was the poorest performance from our side the whole season. This is the poorest we've played against a team like Police who have lost quite some key players in their setup. We should have killed the game in the first quarter. You saw we just missed them, and then yeah, it is what it is. We were very poor today. I don't know why we tend to give in our poor performances against Police. I really can't tell why, but yeah, fortunately we had very good results in between, and it's given us enough pushing to go into the final day of the league still on top and still with everything left to do. Everything is in our hands, so yeah. It's very unfortunate, I don't know. But yeah, we've taken 1 point out of 6 from them. It's unfortunate, we were bad.
In some other stories, the GRA ladies strengthened their grip at the summit of the women's table in the ongoing Greater Accra Safoda Women's Hockey League. They beat Extinguishers ladies by 8-0 on match day 13.
GRA ladies played Extinguishers in their match day 9 fixture in the 13-week-old Greater Accra Safoda Hockey League. GRA ladies in the yellow jersey were looking for a win to strengthen their grip on the summit of the table in the women's division. For Extinguishers, a win will boost their morale, having tasted only 1 win, 1 draw, and 6 losses in 8 matches. Vivian Nakwo opened the scoring for GRA on the 11th minute through a field goal. Mercy Akon made it 2-0 through a field goal on the 24th minute. She doubled her tally on the 31st minute through a penalty corner. Captain of the side, Elizabeth Opoku, converted a penalty stroke in the 3rd quarter on the 36th minute. Mavis Beko added a name to the score sheet on the 38th minute through a field goal. Ernestina Kofi made it 6-0 on the 47th minute, also through a field goal. Mavis Beko again scored a second on the day on the 52nd minute through a penalty corner. Doris Entry put the icing on the cake with the 8th goal on the 53rd minute through a field goal. The encounter ended 8-0. Captain of GRA ladies, Elizabeth Opoku, says despite the win, they still have more room to improve ahead of the upcoming Africa Hockey Club Championships.
As far as today's match is concerned, we are on top. We are hoping to win next week, where we can confidently say we are on top. But as far as today's match is concerned, we are still leading. We are not really playing according to our system and how we play, because I think we underrated them, because we made some silly mistakes which could have resulted in a goal. So I think we weren't playing according to our coach's tactics and how we are supposed to play.
Deputy Captain of Extinguishers ladies, Juanita Kowu, says, but for some questionable umpiring, the result could have been less.
From the beginning of the game, we did our best. Like, we were managing them not to, like, the scoreline should be limited. But as my sister said, the officiating went very bad. I don't know what is it about GNFS Extinguishers playing any other team here. Anytime you have a match, it looks like the umpiring is always going against us, which is very bad. And looking at the team, past years we were doing very well, but for 2-3 years now, most of the players have given birth and the team is weak in a way, and we are bringing up some players, a few players, beginners, so that we build up the team. So I would say we did our best.
The Greater Accra Safoda Hockey League continues this weekend at the Theodosia Okun Hockey Stadium.
Swatcherman FC in the new football season will not only serve as a curtain raiser for the 2024-2025 season, but also as an early indicator of the form and readiness of the 2 top-tier teams as they embark on their continental campaigns. The TNA Park is expected to be filled with fans to witness what will surely be a thrilling contest between 2 of Ghana's finest football clubs.
Aided their qualification into the African Confederations Cup. Goalkeeper Daniel Afaju is captain for the side this afternoon.
Still on football, and Labalang Martin from Lesotho will take charge of the CAF Confederations Cup preliminary round 2 leg game between Electspor from Shad and Ghana's Inswacherman FC. The 34-year-old will be assisted by compatriot Moses Mapoha, Caesar Sean, and David Molise. Jean-Marie from the Central African Republic will be the match commissioner. The match is scheduled for 13 hours kickoff at the Stade Amadou Ahidjo in Yaoundé on Saturday. Inswacherman FC goes into the game with a 3-0 advantage from the first leg. Still on CAF interclub competitions, and Benin's Ainovi FC and Nigeria's Edo Queens have booked their spots in the final of the 2024 Wafu B CAF Women's Champions League qualifiers. Côte d'Ivoire have set the stage for a mouth-watering summit clash. The final, scheduled for Friday, August 24th, promises to be a thrilling encounter between the two determined sides. I know VFC and Edo Queens will not only be vying for the Wafu B trophy, but also a coveted spot in the prestigious CAF Women's Champions League, a first ever achievement for both clubs. As the finalists gear up for the ultimate showdown, the third place match between Inter de Abidjan and Etincelle on Thursday, August 23rd, will provide an opportunity for the losing semi-finalists to end their campaign on a high note. Football, and the Nigerians' long search for a head coach is in its final stages, but complications persist with two candidates left in the race. The Super Eagles have been without a permanent boss since Finidi George stepped down only 2 matches into a 2-year contract he signed as recently as May. Shortlisted former Morocco coach Habib Renard as well for this particular position. Now to the camp of Chelsea, and Chelsea have signed Portugal forward João Felix from Atletico Madrid for a fee in the region of 45 million, with England midfielder Conor Gallagher going the other way for about a 33 million. West London in 2023. According to João Felix, he's very happy to be back at Chelsea and can't wait to get started. He says he can see some familiar faces from the last time he was here, and it's always very nice to be with the club. Well, thank you very much for joining us for today's edition of the Sports Update on GTV Breakfast as well as GTV Sports Plus. My name is Akosia AJ. There's more sports with Gloria and I on Studio 5 right after this break.
What's up? Channeling some MJ, man. He was just the best. He was the best.
I blame Carl.
Headlines. He was a headliner. Let's have some headlines now.
Ghanaian Times. Torrential rains, Pamel Boku, ravage over 20 communities, raise numerous farmlands.
Wow. Pictures from the farmlands around the White Volta in Boku West. Crops on farmlands in Zerila submerged. Wow, it's crazy. Wow. Don't declare results of December 7 polls. Peace Council cautions media.
Well, dialysis service now available at KBTH, Kolebu Teaching Hospital.
One time. And Kokobot to finance bean purchases for 2024-2025 season locally. This is the first time in 32 years that, yeah, so good stuff. Good stuff. That's your Ghanaian Times. Day graphic.
Get Fund completes over 3,000 projects.
Deterioration of petroleum revenue-funded projects worrying, says Nana Kweku Day.
Drought, 1.18 billion Ghana cedis agric investment in danger.
A picture of a beaming Joseph Edu, chief executive of Cocoa Board. They've broken a 32-year loan cycle. They broke the 32. They are now buying the 2024-2025 season cocoa with Ghana money, which is good.
That's some flex right there.
Break the
Serious
32.
flex, yeah.
Yeah. Next paper. Daily Guide.
Okay. IGP dispels militia training rumors.
95 NDC members in Ashanti defect to MPP.
Okay. Ghana, Sri Lanka boost ties.
Okay, so the Kolebu has reopened their outpatient dialysis unit.
And Baumia engages media on Sunday.
Okay, all righty. That's your Daily Guide right there. The Chronicle.
Right. Bono grabs 99 drip machines.
$3 million African Games clash controversy. GBC boss fires. Minister responds. Will Prof. Hassan hit back again? Yeah.
Napo touts credentials of Baumia Ahafuano North PC.
Okay, there's some Tontochrome and Sanko Gold and Pass will be solved. Says Duca.
Malcolm mourns late Godwin Avenobo Big G.
Yes, may he rest in perfect peace. Romans 14:12. So then, each of us will give an account of ourselves to God. Amen.
Amen.
All right, that's the Chronicle right there. The Dispatch, Daily Dispatch.
No press can compel businesses to operate beyond their hours if there is no demand. Manasseh on Mohammed's 24-hour economy, okay?
We have made progress in energy, education, and other sectors with our 2016 and 2020 manifestos, says Napo.
Right. Baumia proposed abolishment of e-levy, but cabinet shut it down. Aid reveals. Okay.
Why is he revealing cabinet stuff to us? Cylinder recirculation model to eliminate cheating at filling stations, says MPA.
Okay.
Yeah. I thought cabinet stuff was quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which aid, by the way?
Come again. All right, next one.
Right. Okay, the Daily Searchlight. 285 second cycle institutions to compete in STEMnovation 2024.
Corruption at EOCO headquarters as Auditor General nails anti-corruption agency for using seized items without register.
Okay, public slams NDC's refusal to sign peace pact ahead of 2024 elections.
Asaki Samson Awingobit to rebrand PNC as national chairman.
Okay, victims of a Konsombo Dam spillage still struggling 11 months on. Stories on page 8.
And Professor Opukwa Jiman questions MPP's integrity over promises to women. That's your Daily Searchlight right there, searching for the truth in the headlines. Okay, business analyst, what's up?
Government to raise 5.3 billion Ghana cedis via T-bills on Friday.
IEA proposes formation of rural industries development strategy to reduce rural migration.
Right, GJA mourns Godwin Avenogbo Big G.
Okay, and PPI for July hits 29.1%. Okay, that's your business analyst.
That's it.
Okay, we're throwing back. This is August 8, 1963. I was exactly minus 8 years old and 2 days because I was born on August 6. And so the big headline there, no small units now. Kojo Bochi was the leader of Ghana's delegation in the Organization of African Unity Ministerial Council Conference in Dakar. And he warned that the desire of some states since the Addis Ababa conference to encourage regional political groupings gives ample evidence. Okay, so this man went to Tema, Ben Bella, from Algeria. He's Algeria's premier.
Pioneer.
Yes, he was being honored by a lady, Rose Teria, a teacher of a primary school. And then he went to visit Tema. He went to the Tema local council and is accompanied by the Works Minister, E.K. Bensa, the Algerian ambassador to Ghana, and a whole bunch of people, Mr. Pupulampu, Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs. So yeah, foreign, and what's the advert there?
Man with a problem. Barclays Bank.
Okay, it's a Barclays Bank advert.
DCO.
Yeah. Barclays is now ABSA, you know that?
Yeah, it's ABSA now.
Yeah. Okay, let's see more of the throwback. I like it.
Here and there. What's here and there? Okay. From cooperative units, Asari.
So Mr. J.A. Kwesi Mold above, principal instructor of the City Drivers High School, Accra, is due to leave Ghana shortly for the UK. He will take an advanced course in driving instruction at the General Management of Driving Schools. Go ahead, Charlie.
So here and there's like general news or something.
Yeah. So if you're traveling abroad for some program, you made it to the news.
Here and there.
Wow, it was in the news.
Nice.
And then what else?
Frida Road appeal.
Okay.
There's also people and places in the news.
All right. So you have news from Wenchi, Chifuprasu, Asena Mwabin.
Newtafo.
Okay.
Kwame Sikrom.
Ajumako.
Nyanyase.
And then Bremana Eshiam and then Goma Kokofu.
Wow. People and places in the news.
Okay, so nice.
You pass your exam first time, or I could go on helping you until you do. This is my guarantee to every Bennett College student.
Okay, all right. Let's more from
nice.
63. This is international news. 1,820 Nyasa railmen to lose their jobs. So some striking action happening there.
9 African miners killed, and then I'm sure there's a walkout after that.
Yes, okay. Harold Macmillan, who was the British Prime Minister, then went to visit Finland.
Okay. Blast, man hit. Okay, so that's some news. And then Afro-Asian writers.
Look at that place.
Car Price, that club. Car Price is right here.
Yes.
But it's a nightclub.
Yes, it was a nightclub. They'll be serving Indonesian rice dish.
So the history, fake history is that the place, they used to sell rice there.
No. Actually, the correct pronunciation is Caprice. But we in Ghana, we say finance instead of finance, you know. So yeah, they were selling rice there. Some Packer Pen advert. More. I like 53. Okay, back page, Daily Graphic.
Ghana tables draft in UN Council. Saki. End arms sales to South Africa.
Okay, so Ghana, by then, South Africa was deep in appetite, and Ghana was saying, hey. So these are our people who were representing Ghana. We had the Foreign Minister, Kojo Bochio, in the middle. He was the head of the Ghana delegation. And then you had Mr. John K. Tetega, Secretary General of the All African Trades Union Federation, Mr. Kwesi Ama, who was the Ghana High Commissioner in Britain, and Mr. A.K. Barden, I believe, Director of the Bureau of African Affairs, and other officials. Another nightclub. What is that?
La Ronde Cabaret Club, calling you again. New show arriving, first time seen in Ghana, starting tonight.
Michael Jackson there from way back, way back. I wonder when that song came out. It's a long time, you know. But Michael Jackson is always the guy, you know. And this song came out so many years ago, so many years ago. This is 1987. 1988, released in 1988. So already that's like, how many years? 30, 6 years, 36-year-old throwback. Serious, man. I was 17 back then. Wonder how old Rev was. I'm sure he was in Hungary then. 88 in Hungary, straight up. You were in school?
I was in school.
What were you studying?
I was doing my 88 was when I started my research, really.
Okay, all right.
So
your first degree or second degree?
Second
degree. Okay. What's your second degree?
Economics.
Economics. Okay.
Yes.
First degree?
Economics.
Okay.
And then my research ended up in international relations.
Okay. So what was your research when you were doing your second degree?
Africanization and internationalization.
Okay.
On the effects of Africa in the global community and the effect that even British Togoland and the demarcations have had on our communities.
All right.
Yes,
and then a PhD?
In international relations.
What was the research?
See, I continued with that same topic. And I had a supervisor that was very, very kind to me because Yesenski Geza. Yesenski Geza then was Hungarian Foreign Affairs Minister. Remember, in Hungary, even the ministers still go to the university faculty. So he was somebody who had a lot of links with the United Nations and God. In fact, it's surprising to know that it was through Yesenski Geza that I got to know Kofi Annan.
Oh, okay. Oh, really?
Yes.
All right. You know, some people publish their thesis into a book. Did you publish it?
Well, I had a lot of syllabi. I had a lot of synopses of it that were published. And remember, in the course of it all, I ended up in ministry more. So I think that the traveling aspect took over the academic. But the truth is that I still lecture economics, I still lecture international relations.
Yeah.
Which most people don't know.
Awesome. Reverend Dr. Lawrence Sete. He's a president and founder of the Worldwide Miracle Outreach. And he's our solo guest for now until Sheikh decides to bless us with his presence. He's here with us. This will interest you. So a blogger has been jailed for publishing false news. His name is, it's on the front page of today's Daybreak. His name is Jeffrey Eprim Nyami. He works with reportghana.net, blogger. He's a blogger and he's been jailed for publishing false news. He published false news, that was the offense, that caused panic bank withdrawals in the year 2022. And he's been given 30 days imprisonment. Prosecutors said the publication compelled dollar account holders to withdraw their money from the various banks. He was found guilty by an Accra Circuit Court, presided over by Mr. Isaac Addo at the end of a trial on a charge of publication of false news. The court, however, acquitted and discharged Jeremiah Kobina Ijabing, an IT professional who was held on a charge of abetment. So he's gone inside the cooler for 30 days.
I have a good news for you. Sheikh Arimaya has arrived.
One time. He's landing soon. If you so. We'll take a quick break and we will continue on headlines. Don't go anywhere.
President Charcoal. Why? When there are so many other charcoal toothpaste. That's both charcoal and lemon. Oh, does it? Yes. Look right here.
Yes. Pepsodent Charcoal has two of nature's powerful whitening ingredients. With the power of activated charcoal and lemon essence, it removes stains and whitens teeth naturally.
Convinced?
Well, I am. Just look at your beautiful Pepsodent smiles.
For naturally whiter teeth, Pepsodent Charcoal.
Pepsodent.
Fear the oman kekawa bahodia. Tuan betumo. Muba ye mahu san kekawa na stain bi kura e wo fom ha. Tuma hu hwehwam. Nimia, me so aka bi ma mo at.
Buying 20 disinfectant, buying stain remover and so ha. Ye were buying liquid soap, buying zone house, factories, and no bia e wo so we use.
0243 10 48 83 and 0541 80 80 96.
FDRG ejidin krat.
From 19th August to 28th, Hisense Factory Direct promo. 9 days only, while stock lasts.
7:53, you're watching GTV Breakfast. We've been joined by Sheikh Arimia Shaibu, spokesperson for the National Chief Imam. We're here with Reverend Dr. Lawrence Tete, president and founder of the Worldwide Miracle Outreach. Sheikh, good morning. Salam alaikum.
Alaikum salam, good morning.
How's it going?
Very fine.
How's the old man?
The old man is doing very well.
Yeah. Has he got a kind of cool schedule today, or he's quite busy?
Yeah, I mean, of late he's taking it cool. Yeah. And,
cool.
We are managing him, and
He'll be so.
And he's fine.
He's still doing well.
Yeah,
we thank God.
Very strong in the mind. It's when you talk to him, yeah, you see the body, but when he
the mind is strong,
begins to reflect.
Yes, yeah. And how are you?
I'm doing very well.
Okay.
I come once again. I mean, over the few days or last week, we hear some of the very violent rhetorics, the retaliatory, violent expressions, and in the days coming, we don't know how it's going to turn out to be. But I think whatever the challenges we have, the choice of violence is wrong, and I think that we should not encourage the violence as the alternative. Yeah, but there are justified concerns that people can raise, and then as people, I mean, we look at them and see those that are possible for us to do something about, we do. So I think that we should, as citizens, we should not accept violence and then the invitation or the call to violence as the way to go. It's a struggle for power, and when two strong people are struggling for power, and when they begin, those in the citizens, they are those that suffer. And a clear example is what's happening in Sudan. These are two military sections of the military, and because of the power that they want, the whole citizen of Sudan now, and I mean, for me, my main concern is about the weak and the vulnerable aspect of those of the sections of society. Women are being raped. Usually when violence breaks down, people want to show power. And so I call on this rising trend of political heroism that urges people to want to prove tough and to talk. I mean, great respect for all the politicians, but I think when it comes to matters of violence, we should speak with the strongest of our voices, even as we also recognize some of the issues that always there will be some issues, and we should keep our nation safe from violence. Martin Luther King Jr., says something that returning violence for violence only multiplies violence, and add deeper darkness to a night is what is already devoid of stars. And violence creates hate, and hate, when it becomes widespread, we all know the consequence. Mm-hmm. And I still want to tell the politicians that when you win the election, you need a nation that is cohesive to be able to rule. So don't break us now, only to come back when you have now gained the power, and you call us that we must cooperate. You need a cohesive nation. You need that. The
election is on Saturday, and then somebody said recently, the children, always remember that the children must go to school on Monday.
Exactly. And when that happens, you can really see, the state, sympathy and empathy for people of Boko, but when violence breaks, the consequence, look at the people in Boko, they have suffered. Hospitals, come to a standstill. Schools are closed down. People cannot go. So the whole livelihood. So it goes beyond your political party. In fact, it goes beyond your person. Yeah, and I think that we still want to call on our politicians that even when they express their strong views, they must think beyond their parties and look at the larger interests of our country.
So the NDC has concerns about signing the 2024 Peace Pact.
Yes,
and so they basically have outlined some demands before.
About six demands. Six of them.
Yes. And I'll just read them out to you. Yes. I don't know how you are dealing with these demands. So, when was this engagement?
I think it was just a day after the chairman of the NDC had, and indeed, even there was a media misrepresentation of the initial one, I was called to comment and I refused because I wasn't sure exactly what he said. Later when I was given the tape and I read it, in fact, in the way he expressed himself, he was raising the reservations.
Okay. So let me list them. So number one,
yes,
these are their concerns. They put forward 6 conditions that must be met before the party will consider signing the proposed peace pact. Number one, implementation of Ayawaso West Wogon by-election recommendations.
Yes.
And number 2, prosecution of election-related violence perpetrators. Now, this specifically referring to the 2020 elections. Number 3, accountability for ballot paper irregularities. Number 4, investigation into missing Electoral Commission IT equipment. Number 5, public commitment by the president. And then number 6, signature of key national figures, including the president, the inspector general of police, the chief justice, the national security coordinator, and the attorney general before they will consider adding their signature. These are the 6 demands that they have outlined.
I mean, we cannot dismiss all this. Particularly, I would not have a problem at all if, in terms of modifying how we have done the previous signing of the pact. It was limited to only the 2 major political parties and the presidential candidates. In this particular case, we are talking of the current president, His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo, and then the former president, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. They were brought together in order for them to sign. Some of us were even thinking that beyond them, there are others also who must sign. I mean, there are very certain hotspot areas where parliamentary candidates themselves are also in a serious banter. They must also be made to sign. So broadening the base of the signature for me is not so much of a problem. If the IGP also had to commit himself, what is wrong with that? If the CJ, the Chief Justice, also had to commit, commitment means that they will really commit themselves to integrity and the accuracy of judgment in a manner that is conscionable, that they themselves in their conscience know that what we have done is the right thing. I mean, for me, I have no qualms with that. So if the opportunity is there for us to raise this, I mean, let's raise them and then consider what can be done. Some of the issues, I mean, for example, the Ayawaso West Wogon issue, I mean, a president had a power to, put in place a commission, and the commission came out with recommendations. So it lies within the president's power. And here again, we lost opportunity. We lost opportunity from the previous political dispensations. Great applause to former President Atta Mills. Great. And I wish that he lived, that he himself, this is a president who knows what it means, and a commission has been set that will reduce his powers, and yet he gave them the go-ahead to do it. But implementation did not see him. And we have lived for all this while, having spent so much money. So still all the presidents are enjoying those unbridled power. It is not our fault. You have given that power to a president, and he's using it. What we must do now is to commit ourselves that whoever comes to power, those far-reaching recommendations of the Constitutional Review Committee must be implemented. Must be implemented. If we would not do so, then we must also review the position of the Council of State. Because when you give so much power to a president, you need a certain platform, an institution that can also keep him in check. Because you've given it to him. He has the mandate constitutional to appoint. And you do not have the power to disappoint. He has to do so. And if he has done it, where's my power to go and say, look, remove that person or appoint that? So I think it lies in all of us, our duty and responsibility going forward to say that, look, let's do something about our Constitution. Let's do something about our Constitution, especially in the area that we've all, by consensus, agreed that the president has too much power. Not this one alone. Not this one alone.
Well, they all operated from the same constitution. So all of them have had all the
arrangement.
Power. Yeah,
and,
nothing has been.
And they enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Atta Mills, His Excellency, former President Mills, is the one that I will give the credit to, that in his wisdom saw the need. So it's a power. It's not about yourself. It's about a deepening of our democracy and making democracy functional in such a way that its dividends bring the good to the whole country. So I think that some of those requirements, you see, sometimes in war negotiations, I mean, you put so many things, but it's not all of them that you get. But there are some that are reasonable that we can look at and to satisfy and say, look, because we are committed, we want them to sign up the pact. Though I find it, with great respect to our leaders, I mean, like I said the last time, I find it embarrassing.
No, you have to be signing these things before elections.
You're going to be our president.
And then you are signing peace pacts.
Oh, and we are afraid, and so we have to call you. No. Kwesi,
it's like a Russia-Ukraine or a Gaza something.
I mean, hostilities. We are giving you our sovereignty.
Why should they be signing these?
Collective sovereignty is what we are giving to you. Yeah. But that you are so violent prone that we are afraid. So and because we cherish our peace, we say no. We can't allow you to do the way you want to do it. So come and sign. I think for me it doesn't add any glory to our politicians. I mean, great respect for them. It doesn't add any glory to them that we are forcing them or committing them. Even when we did, I mean, we didn't get it as perfect as we want, but at least we were able to come out.
Sure. Rev, what do you make of all of this?
I sum up all these things in something I coined from the past few days following the convention of the Americans. And I dare say this, that let's put aside politics to see the need of our nation. In other words, let's put politics aside to think about the welfare of Ghana. Our politicians are thinking about themselves, and they've lost Ghana. The decency of even our approach, the language, even some leaders that I have so much respect for are losing sight of it. And we are creating an environment that will come to eat us up in the coming years. We want to win election, but the election we want to win should not be war. Sometimes the way we even approach it makes it too stringent that we ourselves are not flexible enough to make friends after that. I have a saying that I got from the Bible, that we should use our positions to make friends, not enemies. The words we throw about on ourselves, it's like me and Sheikh here. If the past few years we've been working together, we keep jabbing ourselves, there will not be excitement. When I'm not here, Sheikh misses me.
Terribly.
When he's not here, I miss him. and that is what we are supposed to be doing as Ghanaians. Yes, we might have different. I'm a Christian. Yeah. I have no intention to become a Muslim. Yes. Except that, Sheikh, I'm thinking one of these days will become a Christian. Because you were there at my birthday. He preached and all the pastors clapped for him, including the Chief Justice clapped for you. Judge Nawood said, wow, this was a good preacher. But here we are, that in spite of all our diversified opinion about religion, we come together. Why can't we come together as a nation and put politics aside? Can't we? And like he rightly said, some of the things that are being discussed now makes us cheap, makes us very hollow, makes us unreasonable. We are fighting battles that can be avoided. And the truth is that we are being distracted. If you look at most of our politicians today, they are not talking to proper messages that are supposed to be enriching us. They are rather thinking about how to throw in jabs over their opponent. And so it is not bringing... I follow the American one. I'm listening to Barack Obama. These people are talking to issues. They are addressing issues. They are addressing issues that will affect the home, the family, the community. And I think that is what we need to hear. Let me say this, Kafui, on this platform, that the politicians should not live in a fool's paradise anymore. Ghanaians are very discerning now. We are so discerning that it is not how eloquent you speak that will get you the vote. It is how many issues you've addressed and how the people have become so discerning enough to accept your message. And then, to buttress on what he's saying, we are sitting on a time bomb. Kafui, I say this to you as a man of God. We're sitting on a time bomb. We think Ghanaians are peaceful and that we can never get up. Who knew some time ago that Kenya will go through what they went through? Who knew? Who knew that Rwanda will go through what they went through? Who knew that Ivory Coast, of all places, our next door neighbors, will go to the mess they went through? And who knew that Burkina Faso would have gone through what they go through? We've heard things in Togo. We've heard it in Cotonou, Benin here. So if even the people around us just have done it, fight and spirit comes together. If we don't take care, something can happen to Ghana. And I'm saying this to all the politicians. President Nana Danko Akufo-Addo, wake up. Vice President Dr. Bawumia, wake up. Former President John Dramani Mahama, wake up. And Professor Nana Jane, wake up. You are the forerunners now. We shouldn't take for granted some things that are going on. We are giving also the chance to people who don't even understand the political terrain to make very absurd statements on their media and their media spaces, and it's going to cost us. It's very likely that some of you easily know how to travel, like some of us who can travel with their children and others. But the vast majority of Ghanaians will be in a mess. And so I beg, I wish I can go on my knees to beg you that we must be careful and mindful of our bid to get into a political leadership and forget that most of the things we are doing today will come to haunt us. If we don't take care, posterity will judge us. Posterity will judge us big time. I'm sorry we go through this way, but if these are the only things, in fact, politics and Galamsey, if this is the only thing we come to talk about, everything, I like it because it's killing our people. Do you know that people who are supposed to be living in a very good environment today are living in pain? And we should not live ignorant. There's tension in Parliament House now. Look at even how certain people speak to the Speaker of Parliament. Some level of respect is broken. Some level of chain is broken. Because it is clear that the Speaker of Parliament is not an MPP person. And so anything he says, the MPP person, and certainly the Speaker of Parliament to know it is not an MPP person, maybe sometimes he will not be. So we need to create a balance. And in this balance, I will conclude today that we must learn to put politics aside to think about Ghana. And once politics is put aside, we will be very constructive. We'll look at things holistically. It will be balanced enough to think about how we can build Ghana. Thank you.
So we want to ease the tension. What are your recommendations for easing tension?
Number one, we should dialogue. And in dialoguing, we should not be too stringent. We should not take a defensive position that is not flexible. We should learn to be flexible a little. It's like in a marriage. You need a little of humility. You know, there's a scripture that always comes to mind when I'm talking to politicians. And the politicians come to our churches and the monks and they preach those messages to them, but they don't understand themselves. In 2 Chronicles chapter 7, verse 40 says, if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways. So 4 conditions God gave. Number one, that they should humble themselves. Humility is not in our politicians anymore. Arrogance. I've seen certain politicians, both NDC, MPP, CPP, and even the other parties, they are not supposed to call them small parties. You see people speak, and you ask yourself that they speak as though they are gods. And you even hear MPs giving promises that they cannot give just because they have to win. So humility is crucial. Number two, we must pray. A prayerless nation, Kafui, is a powerless nation. A prayerless nation is weak. Hungarians call it jenge, jenge, embe. Jenge in Hungarian language means weak, and it's strong. Weak means feeble, jenge. So, and then we must also seek God's face. We are believing in ourselves so much that the God factor is gone. And because the Godfather is gone, Kafui, that is why we throw these jabs we shouldn't throw. Hitting below the belt, hitting across the board, playing the same. And you see people sit there and lie. And you know this is a complete lie. But they don't care. They lie. And they assume that the people who are listening to them is taking it. But I'm listening to them. I'm listening to all the politicians. And sometimes they throw the thing and then, you know, this way, but we're through. Okay. And then the fourth thing is that we should turn from our wicked ways. Why are you destroying your brother because of election? And then when you finish winning the election, you want him to become your brother, you want to support him. Once you've broken that down, it's difficult to forgive yourselves. God gave that conditions. Then he said, if we can do these four things, humility, prayer, seek his face, turn from our wicked way, then he gave three assurances. Then you hear from heaven, forgive our sins and heal the land. Chronicles, 2 Chronicles chapter 7, verse 14. I know all our politicians have used that scripture, but I don't think they practice it. Please let us go back and let me reiterate again. Let's put aside our politics and seek the welfare of a man Ghana, because we need it.
I want to just throw some caution. I mean, still addressing our politicians. Probably if I were a politician, I wouldn't be here to be talking the way that I'm doing. Maybe I also fall into it, but it's a tendency. But I want to remind them and caution them not to speak like warlords. Yeah. Not to be speaking like warlords. And they're beating the war drums. The bellicose and those words that they throw at each other, because they all the time want to prove tough. So if somebody from the MPP speaks, the reply comes from the NDC, and then the airwaves now goes agog with those things. But I reflect so much about warlords and what has happened to them. I mean, Jonas Savimbi. Please, I mean, you're a politician, some of you are quite young, you want to become, but you need your life to be able to really become our president in future. So please, take care. Charles Taylor is, I mean, where is he today?
Behind bars.
Yeah. Fode Sanko. Fode Sanko wanted power, and he was so callous, wicked, that children as young as how many years? Is it 3 years?
Children, babies.
He had no mercy. He wanted power, and he cut them. They call it long sleeves or short sleeves. Today in Sierra Leone, we have people whose wrists have been cut, and some have been cut at the elbow. For the Sanko, where is he today?
He died in prison while
miserably.
awaiting trial for war crimes.
Miserably. He fell sick and he died. And there are quite good examples that we can set. So the word that Reverend used, humility in everything that you do, and modesty.
Charles Taylor is spending time in jail. He was convicted in 2012, sentenced to 50 years in prison. He's currently serving his sentence in the UK. Jonas Savimbi, he was an Angolan rebel leader.
Yes.
He was killed in a battle with Angolan government forces in 2002.
I was told people close him and shot him. You see, so please, when you speak the way you do, and I have a certain impression that you are sounding like warlords, but the country that we are in does not need warlords. But as you speak the alternatives that you have, use humility, respect, for your other side, because you are in opposition, but you are only an alternative, and the one in government is the one who is doing it now, and we are all trying what is the best for our country. Let's do our best. We will keep on talking. Act of violence, it's not our choice. It's not our choice, and it must not be encouraged. But that they must find a useful way of bringing out our concerns, and hope that our institutions will also live up to their work and expectations.
You know what? And to add to what Sheikh has said, Our politicians are losing sight of the nations they have to govern. A distorted community and a divided community is very difficult to rule. I've read a lot of spiritual books. I've read the Bhagavad Gita a little. We tried to read some of the Quran a little. I read some books before. I read the Bible before. There's never been any time that has been valid in any of those spiritual eras that has not caused trouble to the community. So we need to wake up. We need to wake up. And my caution again to President Nana-Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, Vice President John Dramani, Vice President Dr. Baumia, former President John Dramani Mahama, and Professor Nana Jane. In fact, they are the four main forerunners. The other parties and things we all know.
You didn't add Napo.
Yes. Oh, sorry. And Dr. Opoku Prempeh, Napo, Dr. Opoku Prempeh, all of them. In fact, the five of them are the forerunners, and they should be careful. But having said that, I know who will win the election.
You said it last week.
Oh, can I prophesy now?
Can you tell us?
You're watching GTV.
I like the way some people say, come and see me. So I know who will win the election.
All right.
They will come.
Do you know who's going to win the election? Let us know. 055-556-1034. Boko is in the news for two reasons. Number one is a refutation of allegations of militia training at Boko by the police. So the Ghana Police Service has refuted allegations of militia training at Boko in the Upper East region. This follows a publication that raised concerns about the matter. There's a statement issued on Facebook by the Ghana Police indicating that investigation has found no evidence of such training in the area or its environs. This is the second of such false publications within a week by some unpatriotic individuals intended to create unnecessary alarm and panic among the public. So on August 19, which is 3 days ago, the police denied the alleged training of militia at Kwewu in the eastern region in preparation for the 2024 general election. And they've warned the public against the publication of fake news, adding that investigations are ongoing to identify those responsible for false publication to come and answer for their actions. And it just goes in line with that blogger who was jailed for publishing false news. So it's actually an offense to publish false news. The second reason why Boku is in the news is because of what I see on the front page of today's Ghanaian Times. And that has to do with some serious flooding. So torrential rains have descended on Boku. So can you imagine all kinds of things are happening there? They have the tension there. You have allegations of militias, which has been refuted by the police. And then you also have rains, torrential rains. Over 20 communities have been affected. Numerous farmlands have been devastated. Those along the White Volta River. So you have communities from Sapeliga to Gogo, Kobori, Yarugu, Timonde, Tanga, Tangakpal Sugu, Boya, and Boyakpal Saku, all have been affected by the recent floods. Other communities such as Kopela, Dagunga, Zongo, Ire, and Zambala, a community on the boundary with Nabdam, were not left out in the devastation. And so you have communities in Zebela, within the Boko West district, that have been affected. Others include Pualugu in the Talensi district, Wiesi in the Bulsa South district, and parts of Sakoti in the Nabdam district have been seriously affected. NADMO has been in touch. So the director of NADMO, the National Disaster Management Organization in Boko West, Amos Nderago, has acknowledged the impact of the heavy rains, but has dismissed media reports suggesting that the issue was triggered by the spillage of the Bagre Dam on Monday. So from that, let's go to the second issue. You said that if we should dedicate the whole of our show to politics and Galamsey. So I have on the line with me a toxicologist and a lecturer, molecular biologist. His name is Yakubu Adam. And Yakubu has been doing a lot of research on the effects of Galamsey on our bodies. Yakubu, good morning. Welcome to GTV Breakfast. Your latest piece is Galamsey and its associated congenital anomalies, a public health concern in Ghana. Break it down for my 14-year-old son. What is your research about?
Okay, thank you you very much, and good morning to your listeners, and good morning to you as well and your team. When it comes to the latest publication on Galamsey and its associated anomaly, research findings have shown that mercury usage in Galamsey extraction can actually get into our systemic circulation. And one research that was done by our team in one of these Galamsey areas indicate that pregnant women that actually give birth to children in these community that is close to Galamsey most likely are to give birth to babies with abnormalities, such as microcephaly, that is small head. Maybe you can give birth to a child whereby the limbs are being combined. You can give birth to a child with maybe hole in heart or a deformed heart. And these are investigated associations with mercury usage in Galamsey. So basically, that is a summary of my research, a birth defect as a result of mercury in our system.
Well, how does the mercury affect the body in such a way that you have deformities and defects?
Okay, when we are talking about mercury, because these illegal miners, they actually does not have licenses to operate. So therefore, when they are operating, they are not operating under any supervision. Unlike the large-scale miners that normally have EPA licenses, Forestry Commission licenses, or approval. So with them, they are having safety gear to actually protect them when they are actually evaporating the mercury from it all. But when it comes to the illegal sports mining, when they use the mercury to trap the gold, after trapping the gold, they have to evaporate this mercury off. And by evaporating this mercury off, they intend to inhale it. And this can also get into their brain directly, which can deposit in their brain for even research has shown that it can even get into their brain and get deposited for 20 years. And this can lead to neurological problems and get deposited on your kidney. Yes, and one thing is that when it gets into your system, extraction or excretion from your kidney becomes impossible. So it has to deposit on your kidney, and that can also cause inflammation of the kidney, leading to an impairment. And one thing is that when you are evaporating this mercury from it all, the vapor can also get into our environment and contaminate our water body and also our soils. So any plant or any harvest that is or any crop that is harvested from this land, the person consuming from this harvest is actually exposing himself to mercury. And also when it gets into our water body, so anybody that is living around that area and depending on that source of water is also likely to expose himself to this mercury. And one thing about this mercury is that we have three forms: the metallic, the inorganic, and organic. And the organic one is most dangerous. But what we use in Galamsey is the elemental. The research has shown that when it gets into our water body, microorganisms in our water bodies convert them from the metallic mercury to the organic form. Yes, and when it comes to the organic form, that is the most toxic. It's we say it's neurotoxic, meaning it can actually lead to mental disorder or can actually also lead to maybe cardiovascular problems such as hypertension and the rest.
Right.
So if you are a pregnant woman and you are living in this community and your only source of water is this maybe contaminated water body, you are actually taking in mercury. And when this mercury gets into your system, because you share certain stuff with your child, when as a pregnant woman, there is a barrier that's called the blood-placenta barrier. Research has shown that this mercury can pass through the placenta and get into the child. And when this gets to the child, if the child is not well formed before this mercury passes through the placenta and gets to the child can get abnormally. So you give birth to the child, and the child has a small brain because the brain has developed well, but because of the mercury, it has hindered its development. So at the end of it, you develop a small brain, and developing a small brain will lead to a small head. That is what we call microcephaly. And that can also lead to other birth defects, such as one eye, giving birth to a person with one eye, maybe without a mouth or maybe hole in heart, giving birth to a child with even a kidney combined together. Any sort of deformities or abnormalities is associated, and research has proven that.
Yakubu, I mean, thanks for this very alarming findings that you are making. But I also see that you've written something linking the rise in kidney failures to Galamsey. Explain that link. What's going on?
Yes. For the stage in kidney failure, one thing about the mercury, that most research, if I'm not actually exaggerated, about 1,000 research, or more than 1,000 research has actually associated mercury exposure to what's the name? To kidney failure. And one of its pathways is that when you inhale or when you take in any food that is containing this mercury. And one thing is that the mercury too is by skin contact. You can pick them. So imagine these Galamsey people in the pit, and maybe the water that they are even in, that muddy water is even contaminated with mercury. They can pick it directly into their skin. Or whatever dresses or clothes they wear can be contaminated. When they come to their houses, their spouse are also exposed to this mercury. So when it comes to this mercury, when it gets into our skin, through our skin, it gets into our blood. And the research have found that the major deposition site, that's the major site that it can get deposited, is the kidney, because of its lipophilic nature. That is because of its lipid nature.
Right.
And the kidney too is that lipid form. So lipid. So it can actually deposit there. When it deposits there, it does not end there. It causes inflammation because it's not supposed to be there. So your body will try to fight it. And by fighting it, it's fighting your kidney because it is inside your kidney.
Yakubu, where do we have the highest incidences of mercury poisoning in Ghana? And do the Galamsey people themselves know that they are killing themselves?
Little research has been done about, little education has been done about that. As in the health implications, we always focus on the environmental, without talking about the health implications. So in one of my papers, I recommended that we do this kind of education so that it goes downward with the illegal miners, so that they know that it's not only that they are trying to get money, but they are also prone to certain risks such as kidney failure. And at the end of it, it's going to lead to even the money that you are going to get, you are going to spend on treating yourself. Now, when it comes to Ghana, the hotspot for Galamsey, when you visit the Minerals Commission website, currently the small-scale miners that are registered, about 3,000, yes, that have been given license to operate. But when you go to Takwa Iswaim alone, research has shown this is the data from 2018. We are having about 3,468 Galamsey sites just in Takwa Iswaim.
The number again, 3,000 what?
468.
3458.
3468.
Sites, individual sites. 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way.
Individual sites. And the second highest was found in Amenfi East. That was 1,197. And the third highest was Pistia Uni Valley. That's 1,130 sites.
These are sites.
Those are sites. Those that are even operating Galamsey, that are even operating illegally, are even more than those that are even registered. Even just one, this is in Takwa, the Western region.
Okay, so the numbers you gave me are the people who are registered.
The 3,000 are those that are registered on their website.
And you are saying that they are more
right now is
the illegals are even more than this.
Yes, that is even in one region that we are even talking about. Because this Galamsey is in almost all the 14 regions. Only 2 regions that have Galamsey from our research find it, Accra and Volta region. But when you go to the region, they are also doing something with alluvial mining. For them, they are doing the surface mining. But the hotspot when it comes to Galamsey is actually Western region. Western North.
So the people who are registered to operate legally, are they also using the mercury and contaminating the body, water bodies and human beings?
Yes, those that are even registered. So in one of my publications, I even raised that thing. Those that are even registered, they will just under the disguise of having a license, they will end up even contaminated because for them they are even taken with, let's say, impunity because they are having the license. So they take and they put little they show little concern when it comes to the safety aspect of it. And one thing is that I have to charge the EPA. You give them the environmental protection approval or the land, the EPA approval.
Yeah.
So we have to constantly get to the ground and see whether they are doing safe mining. Because at the end of it, they have to put on the protective gear, make sure that, before they will give you the land, you don't have to contaminate the water body. If you want to wash it, you have to create your own pit or something and get yourself water and wash it. But they end up depending on the nearby, because trying to do that, it's also costly. Yes, so they will try to use the nearby water body. And because they are having lances, the soldiers or whatever task force does not get to them, and they rather chase those that are without lances.
Which of our river bodies? Which of our river bodies? Sorry about that. Which of our river bodies is the most heavy? Is the most polluted by your research?
Yes, River Pra.
Oh, I have a sample of it in my hand.
River Pra. The one thing about the politicians, because when they say they are fighting Galamsey, and when we realize that the River Pra is becoming clear, we are just focused on it. When the clear nature of the water does not show that it's contaminated or it's contaminant free, when the water body is contaminated, and we say we stop Galamsey, maybe the mud will go down and the water will become clear, but that water is not safe for you.
What are your recommendations before I let you go? A couple of key recommendations as a consultant toxicologist. What do you recommend?
I recommend. First of all, we have to find alternative livelihood for these people engaged in this Galamsey, because I found out that no matter what you do, because if someone's livelihood depends on that, no matter what you do, the person will even go back, even if it means shoot to kill. So the best thing is to find employment that is alternative livelihood to these people. And also let us also go into an alternative form of mining, whereby we can use maybe borax extraction instead of using cyanide or maybe mercury. Now everything has been advanced, technology.
Yes.
Recently I realized that one party manifesto was also preaching that they are going to look at the alternative mining that will not involve mercury. And if that comes to play, because the Galamsey, if you want to stop it, we don't want to stop it. And the people that are actually endangered to have nothing to also depend on. So we have to get an alternative source of livelihood and also look for alternative form of gold extraction, which I recommend the borax extraction.
I thank you so much, toxicologist Yakubu Adam. For me, the headline is that there are only 2 regions that are free from this scourge.
My region and your region.
Yeah, I mean Greater Accra.
And Volta. Last 2 standing.
We are not safe.
Last 2.
We are even still not safe. Because whatever happens to them,
we can affect. Exactly.
Everybody in all that regions, if they want to travel, they have to come to Accra. So if it means by just body contact, you get contaminated by the mercury.
I mean, the food that have been brought down.
But Sheikh and Kafui, let us face something, reality. Why are we all singing but not dancing? In other words, why are we not walking the talk? These things that we are doing, sometimes we look as if it is not harming us, but it's harming us. I had a story recently, a very interesting story, about 4 boys who went to steal a goat, like we are doing with this thing now. When they stole the goat, they decided to come and cook the goat to eat, by 4 bad boys. And just about the time they were about to eat the goat, one's parents came to call one of the boys. So he went, and for a long time was away. When he came back, the goat was finished.
MashaAllah.
He asked, where is my part? They said, we finished the goat. There's only one head, the head and the legs that is left. And he said the owner will hear. The owner of the goat will hear about the goat.
This is the guy who was swept.
Yes. If we continue like that, I've also heard, sorry, I'm saying all this thing because I'm coming to something about a particular king in the Western region, chief, who said, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. And they kept doing it. Then they were getting GPA, bringing license and things. Then one morning he called them and said, look, where I sit down, this one has built a mouth, this one has built a dam. I'm sitting and say, don't do it. And says, they're doing Mr. Midi me home, Bejim.
That's it. So we've got to be careful.
We got to be very careful. Yes. And the politicians and leaders and Kafui and Sheikh tell me this. Where are the police? Yeah. Where are the army commanders? Yeah. Where are the immigration officers? Where are the national security agents? Where are the BNIs? Where are the security services?
Yeah, this is crazy.
Where are it doesn't make sense.
14 regions out of 16.
And nobody seems to know it. It means anybody who is not standing against this. I've seen certain people being appointed. This is where I want certain people to prove a point, to be able to say that I've stopped Galamsey, and it's under my watch that Galamsey gets stopped. So I think we need to get to that. The security agencies have a lot of work to do. In every community, I keep saying this thing, there's a district national security coordinator, a district police commander, a district MC, and so why are they not supposed to come? And the district security council. So if the security council cannot stop it, then when can we stop? So I think lip services must stop. Galamsey is killing our children. It's giving people defects that they don't need, and it will affect all of us. And don't think it's not affecting you today. Tomorrow, you'll be shocked who you are linked to. This nonsense
must stop. Sheikh, before I bring you in, quick story on judgment debt. So a district court in the United States has awarded in excess of $111 million in judgment debt against Ghana. The ruling comes in favor of Ghana Power Generation Company, a foreign power company that has been involved in a contractual dispute with the Ghanaian government. On the line is spokesperson for the Ministry of Justice and Attorney General Mr. Isaac Wilberforce Mensah. Mr. Mensah, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, and really great show. Good morning to your senior guests, very important people in Ghana right now, and we like what we see.
Thank you. Are we paying? Are we paying this judgment debt?
No, this judgment debt. You see, I just want to bring some clarity to the narrative that's been spun out there. This is not a judgment debt that has been delivered by the United States District Court. This was an attempt to enforce an old judgment debt. So this is not a new judgment debt. Okay. So the judgment debt is dated, I think, 28th January 2021. Now, this judgment debt or this narrative that's being spun against by some media houses, not yours, by some media houses against the current Attorney General is neither here nor there, because this judgment debt predates his tenure as Attorney General. And what's this judgment debt about? This judgment debt is about a decision emanating from cabinet, or more or less from the Energy Ministry, more or less, and it's a decision
that was taken when?
This was before. I think the cancellation of, or the termination of the power agreement was way before, years before 2021. So the agreement was signed by the former Energy Minister Kwabena Donko, and this agreement the administration deemed to be signing agreements in excess of the power that Ghana needed, hence the agreement hence the termination of the agreement and whatnot. Sure. But the focus right now, I don't speak for the Energy Ministry, I don't speak for the Finance Ministry. Speaking from the point of law, I'm correcting the narrative that it's not the District Court of the U.S. that's given this judgment. This judgment is a judgment from January 2021, and it's an arbitral award, an arbitration award. An arbitration award in law is final.
So you can't appeal this? Can you appeal this? Can you appeal this? You can't.
The ground for
Mr. Mensah.
And works is that both parties have submitted willingly to this. So litigation, somebody drags you to court. But arbitration, both of you submit to the arbitration, and in submitting, you are saying that you will accept
the final decision. That's the strength and power of an arbitration award.
I understand.
So what happens right now is that
Mr. Mensah, you are fading, but so it is not appealable. When does Ghana start paying?
The thing was happening. When did Ghana start paying, or is Ghana paying?
No, is Ghana paying? Is Ghana paying this judgment
Ghana
debt?
has made some money.
I think you're in that's when you see the thing in dollar, you don't really get it. 111 times 16, 16. So equals. Yeah, so that's 1776 000 000. 1.7 trillion cedis. Yeah, that's 1776, 000, 000. So 1,776 million cedis. 1776 was the year of America's independence. So 1776 million Ghana cedis is going as judgment debt. Ghana will pay. So bottom line.
I think this issue of judgment debt keeps on coming, and
we are the poorer for it.
I mean,
so
I think that how we negotiate some of these things, we need to really be careful.
Gentlemen, I thank you so much.
Yeah,
I wish you the best.
Thank you so much.
Have a good day.
In the IEA.
The debate?
Committee. The debate
for the
committee.
debates?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
We are serving on.
Wish you the best.
Serving on it, so we are going to be inaugurated.
Okay.
We pray that Ghana goes well. The good Lord should give us a good leader. That's all.
That's good. Who the Reverend says he knows. All right. Yes, there's conversations coming up next around. We've got the GRA conversation, taxes, and then we have financial literacy and the power of investment. You stick around. This is GTV Breakfast.
The Breakfast Show.
Greetings, welcome back to the show. Thank you, Kojo King, for that music. Be kind. This is a special shout out, a belated birthday message to Emily Robertson, aka Mika. Yesterday was your birthday. God bless you. Enjoy your year. We are settling for a conversation with the Ghana Revenue Authority, and they have declared July and August 2024 as Tax Education Month. This is aimed at eliciting feedback on tax processes from their key stakeholders, while also sharing information on their processes and some of the procedures at the GRA. And in studio, we have Alhaji Yakubu Anderson. He's Chief Revenue Officer from the Tax Audit Quality Assurance Department of the Ghana Revenue Authority. He joins us on some education about domestic tax. Good morning, Alhaji.
Good morning.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing very fine by the grace of Allah.
Okay. So first, why was the month of July and August chosen as Domestic Tax Education Month? Why July and August? Is there a special reason?
Yeah. Okay. So we have even answered that question in your intro, because every year annually we set aside a month. It's normally April, but this year for some reason we are doing it in July, August. And then we go on air, we go to the taxpayers and then educate them. It is not just about collecting taxes from people. If they don't even understand what you are doing, if they don't know what they are supposed to do in order to comply with the tax law, then it becomes a challenge. Yeah. So regularly, this is about my 5th or 6th time coming here on GTV to talk about taxes.
So this is your 5th or 6th?
Yes.
Okay, so do you remember what happened on your 4th when you were here? What was the highlight? What did you educate us on your 4th?
The 4th, I think that time the e-levy had started. Okay. So yeah, I think that formed the major.
Okay, and what did you educate us?
No, that's 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, so, but e-levy is still alive.
Yeah, it's still there, but I think that's not why we are here today. So
Okay, and then the 5th edition.
So we go out there to educate the tax-paying public.
Okay.
For instance, we've had interaction with the Christian Council. The management decided that they want to use the religious bodies, because every Ghanaian, about 80 to 90% is either a Christian leaders, and talk to them. Then they can disseminate the information on our behalf in their sermons, their Friday sermon, Sunday sermon. So we have had interaction with the Christian Council, the Methodist Church. We visited the National Chief Imam. Even today, another visit is, as we speak, a delegation is going to the National Chief Imam. We've had interaction with the Ahmadiyya Muslim Mission. We've had interaction with Muslim women in teaching and several others, and it is ongoing. So we do this in order to educate the taxpayers, and then in doing so, we also try to get feedback from them. The challenges that they are facing. In fact, last week, for instance, we had a forum at Oak Plaza with the International Business Chamber, and then the Ghanaian business, and the questions that came, they bombarded us with questions we are facing, and then through that we learn. So then we change some of our modus operandi. Let's do it this way.
What were some of the questions that they asked? What were some of the challenges that they are going through that they highlighted for your team?
You know, one major issue that came up is VAT, value added tax, which is supposed to be a consumption tax. Okay, now VAT is supposed to be a consumption tax. So you are supposed to charge the customer, and then you bring it to. But some people feel that, no, if I charge, my prices may be higher. Somebody will say that, oh, we are 2 stores, I am charging, the next person has not, charged, and so on, and so forth. So we need to take our time to explain to them what they need to do in order not to suffer the consequences. For instance, VAT. If you pay VAT at importation, we call it input tax. That doesn't end. When you also come and process, add value, and sell, you charge what we call output VAT. The one that you paid at importation, you deduct it. So you are not supposed to bear there. It is the final consumer. If another person also goes to buy and is going to sell, whatever you paid when you were buying is your input. When you sell, it's Apple until the final consumer. So if I am buying this one, to drink, then I cannot recover it anyway. So the incidence, the burden of VAT is on the consumer. But you see, the businesses see it as part of their cost. It is increasing, which is not supposed to be so.
So, first, Alhaji, what are some of the common taxes that you like to highlight that maybe the general public does not know much about? What are some of the taxes that you like to educate us on?
We have several taxes. The customs side, and then domestic taxes, corporate income tax. Personal income tax is one tax that people don't know much about.
Personal income tax.
You associate, you work with GTV or GBC. Yeah, at the end of the month, they deduct taxes from your salary, and then they'll pay it on your behalf. But at the end of the year, you are supposed to file your personal income tax. Get all your salary from January to December. And then maybe in addition, you have some small side business that you are doing. So you are earning some income. You have to declare it in addition to your employment income. Maybe you have some accommodation you are renting, so you are getting a rental income. So you bring all those on board, and then you come and file. This is something that a lot of people, individuals, are not doing.
Is Alhaji, is the process for filing personal income tax, is it an arduous process? Is it easy? Can we do it via phone? What's the process like, please?
Oh, now we have gone portal. And then you go and register. Once you register on the portal, you can file. And then when you file, and there are times, sometimes when you file, you realize that you are in credit because maybe your expenses or cost is more than, But when you file and there is a payment to be made, a bill will be generated for you. And then you go on Ghana.gov, you use your mobile phone and pay. You can pay via Momo or you go do bank transfer. Right now, we don't accept cash payments in GRA any longer.
GRA is cashless now?
Cashless, yes.
Alhaji, on the issue of taxes, and especially in our times, everybody's crying, taxes. Would you care to highlight the need for us to pay our taxes and what it does to national development?
Okay, good question. You see, we expect so much from the state. So when you go to hospital, Kolebu, 37, and all the government hospitals, and they attend to you, even if you have to pay, you won't pay for consultation. It is free. I mean, as I sit here, I come from 2 regions in Ghana, central and eastern regions. If you ask me to construct, me and people like me, even if all of us should come together and construct roads from here to my hometown in Asebu or wherever, we cannot do it. And it is, you see that they are constructing the Kasua-Winneba Road.
Okay.
Yeah, a major project. Now, if you ask Afeno Makin, who is the MP for Futu, to use his personal money to go, he can't do it. If you ask Obrimponya for Krampa, the chief or man of whatever, to use his personal money, he can't. So it is important that we pool resources together. Educational infrastructure, for instance.
Okay.
Now, government is doing free secondary education in Ghana. And it is being funded by the tax money. Now, let's get this fact. Even when we don't have the money locally and we have to go and borrow, eventually we pay those debts using the tax money. So the tax money does that almost everything. And it's enable the citizens, all of us, to enjoy services that individually we may not be in the position to provide for ourselves. You get it? The teachers who teach our kids, the nurses, the police service who provide security and all that, their salary is paid with the taxes that we collect. So it helps. You know, the tax money plays major role in national development. Without our taxes, the government machinery will collapse. You get a point.
I get a point.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there the same way that we can file for our taxes? Is there a point where we can track where these monies are going to? How our monies are being used? Will we ever get to that point? Just having a general conversation on taxes.
Oh, you know, I've mentioned some of the areas where our taxes are spent. Now, if as a citizen you want to know more, for instance, if you go to the Ministry of Roads and Highways, go to their website, you can see a project. If you go to Ministry of Education's website, you can see educational infrastructure and all that. That one you have to take the trouble to find out. Government even brought a tracker.
Okay.
Yeah, if it is working effectively, you know, should be able to track all government projects. Again,
let me ask you, you tend to meddle more with policy makers and this. Is the tracker working? Have you tried it? Is it working?
Honestly, I'm not in the position to tell now. Right now, I am a GRA officer, but there are people in charge. Okay, so people, government spokespersons and stuff like that, they should be there. But it should be working. It's supposed to.
Okay, okay, we'll check it out.
Yeah.
And then also, what are the challenges that the GRA faces? What are the major challenges that the GRA faces?
See, one of the biggest challenges that we face as a tax collecting institution has to do with the informal sector, the small and medium businesses. You know, about 70 to 80% of them are not paying taxes. Someone is just doing the business in a briefcase.
Okay.
So he even imports goods in large quantities. When they arrive, he goes to shops in Okanshi, Kantamantu, give it to them, and then the person goes home to sit down. It is difficult to track. And then even those that are selling in their stores and stuff like that, they don't even keep records. Record keeping is very, very, very vital in taxation. If you don't keep records, you will not even know whether you are making losses.
Okay.
Maybe we'll get there. And so it makes it very, very difficult to bring them into the tax net. Even when you bring them, the cost that you incur in maintaining them, sometimes you see it outweighs the benefits. Someone will just come and file 1,000 cedis, but you spend huge sums of money trying to locate, send officers, fuel the car, go and look for the taxpayer. Today you go, he has relocated, it's another place, no information to GRA. You understand? So dealing with the informal sector, and it's not GRA alone. Tax administration in Africa, in the advanced country, they don't have, because their system is very highly digitized. So it is very difficult for you to dodge the system. We have also started with digitalization, and I hope and pray that in the next 5 up to a decade time, we'll get there. It may take us some time, but we'll get there eventually.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then also, Alaji, what happens to defaulters? if the law grabs you, what happens to defaulters? Is there like a system where maybe the person might be cautioned, the individual might be cautioned first? What's it like before you are finally caught up?
So the tax, if you read the tax laws, Income Tax Act 896, VAT Act 870, Revenue Administration Act 915, and the rest, all of them, they prescribe sanctions for non-compliant with the laws. But we as tax administration, our emphasis is always on voluntary compliance. So we do everything we can to get the taxpayers to comply voluntarily on their own.
Okay.
But when we have exhausted all diplomatic avenues of communicating with you and you still, then there are, for instance, the law says that for VAT returns, you should file it by the last working day of the ensuing. So, for instance, transactions that you undertook in January, you have up to the end of February to submit the return. Now, if you don't do it, then a penalty will be generated automatically, a penalty of 500 cedis, and then 10 cedis for each day that the return remain outstanding. You haven't brought it.
Okay.
You know, when it accumulates, then we'll write to you to come and pay. It gets to a point that when we even seal off, occasionally, on few occasions, we have even sealed off people's business. Sometimes our officers have come to do audit. They have raised assessment, genuine assessment, and then you owe maybe 100,000. The amount is sitting in our books for a year, 2 years, 3 years. You are still not paying. We send you demand notices, first demand, second, and you are still not paying. We may have no option than to come and seal. But that is something the Commissioner General doesn't like doing, using force. So I'll use this opportunity to appeal to our tax-paying public to try be honorable, in their dealing with GRA, respect themselves and do the right thing instead of we forcing them applying sanctions which we don't like.
Sometimes it's not necessary.
You see.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, you see, they are our clients. We are in business. All of us, in fact, all of us in GRA, we are in business or we are in employment because of the tax-paying public. If we decide to close all businesses in Ghana, or all businesses say we are not going to pay tax again, then all of us, about 6,000 of us, everybody will lose that, because then there will be nothing for us to do. And that is why we are very cautious when we are dealing with our taxpayers. We are very tactful. We have to respect them. Their rights are protected and stuff like that.
Talking about rights, do taxpayers have rights when dealing with a GRA?
Yes, they have a lot of rights. Maybe, I don't know what time. For instance, they have the right to know, to be informed of major changes in the tax law, for instance.
Okay.
Let's take it, for instance, in 2018, there was amendment to the VAT law to decouple the National Health Insurance get fund levies, from VAT.
Yes.
Prior to that, they were together at 17.5%.
Okay.
Now they decoupled it, and once that happened, it means that when you pay the levy, you cannot claim input tax for the levies. And then the tax rate, because of that, the tax rate was reduced to 12.5%.
Okay.
Now, so it has huge implications if the taxpayers don't know. When it happened, we went on air with this seminar fora to educate the taxpayers that these are the changes. It is their right to know, because if you don't let them know and then you are just coming to apply sanction, it doesn't work like that. Recently, we have introduced something that we call minimum chargeable income.
Okay.
We have introduced, there have been amendments.
What's that? Minimum chargeable income. What's that?
You want us to go into that?
Briefly, just a little education.
Okay,
yes.
so that law is an amendment to the law. It says that if you persistently declare losses.
Okay.
This year one, you have made loss. Year 2, year 3, up to 5 years. We cannot continue to allow you to make losses in perpetuity.
Okay.
So the 6th year, then we'll take your revenue for the year and then compute 5% of it. That 5% becomes your chargeable income.
Okay.
Then you pay the tax on that chargeable income. I mean, I don't want us to, because they're very technical. But see, these are some of the changes. And when it happens, Commissioner General come out with practice notes, administrative guidelines, which is available to, so that the people will know what they are supposed to do, you know, in order to comply.
Okay, so taxpayers have the right to info. That's one. What other rights do taxpayers have?
Taxpayers have the right to confidentiality. So in our dealing with the taxpayer, we get a lot of sensitive information. And we are not supposed to disclose or divulge that information to unauthorized persons unless we are required by law to do so. Now, if you go and audit the big-time multinationals, for instance, they have a Ghanaian accountant, but the salaries of the top management, especially the expatriates, they will not allow the local accountant to do so. That one is computed by someone from among top management. It's a top secret. Okay, but when I go on audits, because of where I'm coming from, they're supposed to give me that information. Until when they have given me that information, and then I go home, my wife has made nice meal for me, and I go, hey Charlie, this company where the CEO is taking 200,000. No, it's unethical. If the taxpayer, you know, finds that it can take us on. So we are supposed to.
Has that ever happened? Has that ever happened?
It hasn't happened because we have conducted ourselves professionally.
Okay, so no leaked info anywhere.
No, not as far as I.
Okay,
do you understand?
Yes,
that?
I do.
Taxpayers also have right to privacy.
Okay.
So you don't have to invade their privacy. If we are coming to do audit, for instance, we will send you an introductory letter. Telling you that, in 2 weeks' time, in 3 weeks' time, we are coming to audit your records.
Okay, so you just don't show up.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's not proper. The taxpayer is there, them 2, 3 gentlemen come, we have come today, we are coming to do audits.
Okay.
You know, they may be doing some serious something that they don't even want anybody to do, then you go there.
Okay.
Or you are there in their premises to conduct audit or embark on any compliance exercise. They have given you a space. You say, no, as for me, I want to sit at where the cash
machine is.
If you go to Makola and Okaishiem, the women, that is why some of them they become, where the
become
money
fat
is
because of that.
they sit there, the whole place is a no-go. So you are a taxman and you say that is all of the tax. You can work with it. So where they actually, because I'm from GRE, you have had the opportunity of, and it's normally in
where
the
gold deposits.
You take off your clothes and then you are left with only your boxes. Some companies may even.
Did you? So you were left with only your boxes to enter?
The law did over them.
Okay. And the modes of payment available to taxpayers.
You want to pay via Ghana. You can pay using a mobile phone.
Okay.
You can office.
Okay. All right.
These two, because we have talked about rights.
Okay. Quickly.
Focus, yes.
But then there's
So oblique. So for instance, for VAT.
200,000.
Then you qualify to register. And you have that. You have read that on due dates. For instance, PAYE that's by the due date. And then general about major changes in your Kumasi and stuff like that. You need to write officially to inform Governor General about major changes. And the GRA.
July and August 2024 has been declared GRA Domestic Tax Education Month. We've had at the table Alhaji Yakubu Anderson, his Chief Revenue Officer, Tax Audit Quality Assurance Department, and everything else. We'll see you after.
GBC Studio One.
And we're going to be speaking health and healthcare West Africa. The health community of West Africa, through strategic partnerships and medical, extends to this discussion this morning. Welcome, Madam Dogbe, who is the marketing manager of Healthcare West Africa, Healthcare of West Africa, HECOWA. There is an upcoming summit center. How not achieve?
2024年公布，还有联合举办商务厅，得到了他们的还有医生专业医生，西非是让这些对我们的西非，然后我们和50家诊所作为快速的参与。Welcome to.
Will bring us interpretation in the English language, so you and I would have the benefit of what Anna has brings.
An event that's going to be happening from next week Monday to when active players in the healthcare industry, healthcare. So we are looking at that we want 50 clinics. Then what developed when it comes to sub-region, because we know that there is funding problems for the healthcare sector. Factories from China, we have 23 factories that will be companies that will be present as well. Are facing
at this summit. What you're looking at. Finding their problems and then moving in from China to facilitate or both clinic
equipment, the advanced ones, all right, devices. So you go to a hospital and they would have to refer you to another hospital to go and do an X-ray or to use the CT scan. But is that you just need to get the consumables from us. So it is a long-term goal, not just a short-term. It's a long-term goal where we would go to all the hospitals, bring them aboard, and then help them. The next one has to do with the funding solutions. Now we know that in the West.
So what you're going to be doing is, so you're more than likely, that will mean is whatever consumable you need or disposable you need to make sure the machine works.
Yes.
The facility would then have to rely on you to supply. So you be the sole supplier.
Yes.
Those consumables. Thank you very much. So it is not just that the facility won't, you may continue from
funding. And the second one is a funding solutions. Have hospital beds, they don't have expo. We'll have some financial, okay, this is how best we can help you. Be a B2B session where hospital is academic exchange. So with Africa, medical professors able to find some solutions to the current problems we have.
As will be expected to attend. Would that be just those managing clinics and hospitals, or it would probably cast the net
in medical equipment? We are looking at healthcare solutional medicine from China. Want to be on board. This for hospitality that we need to take note of. HECOA West Africa Medical Industry Investment Summit and Expo.
Or it's a collaboration between HECOA and many different institutions and organizations in Ghana.
So it is a collaboration between the health. We also have we can't do these policies that we have in the country. Expand their market to the other.
The Food and Drugs Authority, the various regional councils, coordinating councils, as well as other stakeholders like the...
With the Central Regional Coordinating Advanced Hospitals in that region. So last 7th, we'll be touring central needs and then provide solutions. So that's clinics. So they'll give us a CT scan hospital. B needs Nancy. This is what we call Dr. Okoboy. Dr. Okoboy speaking at and then we also have with the Chinese Africa event. So we have Togo, we have Liberia ambassadors will be present when it comes to healthcare.
I will, since it's an expo and it involves service providers, what does it take to register?
All right, so to register, you can register as a, but we also have the visitors portal.
What's the portal?
AMSE. And then the E, we have a 053 available for exhibitors, so we send to them.
Right. Now, what will this mean?
I think let me come in with that, you know, it is not, I mean, it will benefit the two, all right? We want to create this, and then there will be cross-cultural exchange China to engage with their, we can actually, so we need to go there and then learn.
For joining us this morning, the upcoming summit at the Accra International Conference Center from the 26th to the 28th of August. Coming up next is a discussion with Valerie Danso on, you know what it is. Thank you very much.
Welcome back to the show, and Alan, for that conversation. Thank you for that conversation. Even though when Alan was, good morning, Rabbi.
Good morning.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
well, that's what I know.
Alan just confused us. Okay, we are settling in for a conversation with Rabbi, the power of investment, some investment opportunities, and how we go about it. Rabbi, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And
Have
how
you
are
had
you
a
too?
great? I'm blessed. Have you had a great week so?
That's one of my lifestyles. And I listen to a lot of music and dance and joke and have fun.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's it.
I
That's
don't
it.
stress myself at all.
Yes. All right. I know that you're a farmer.
Yeah.
And this morning we had a conversation on the Fruits and Vegetables Festival. And we traveled to the Western region, experience with farming and the road network. It's part of the reason why we don't have a lot of food down here, eh?
Yeah, farmland,
Okay.
far away, Akosombo area. But
That's it.
it
Not to
proximity
go ahead.
that it will be unwise for you to go and do to the city.
Big problem.
Big problem. By the way. Yeah. So they should begin to think about that. Yeah. So there are helicopters that are cargo without struggle. They can allow, and it will ease in why we should be buying Gary at 30.
That's here in Accra.
Yes.
But Rabbi, in the hinterland it's a bit cheaper.
Yes, but because of the transportation to this place, that's why it's so. The price of cassava has gone up. You know, they've all gone up. But we can do something about it. It takes us to think. We have to think. They have to bring people on board. I'm telling you, I've not seen anyone who is eating, whose mouth is full and can talk. So one of the ways to silence people is to give them something in their mouth.
That's it. And if you define investment practically, what is investment?
Putting resources, that's all. Resources, time, energy are all investments. Okay. You can invest your time, you can invest your energy. Areas where you can get returns. That's a simple definition for investment.
Okay, so which one should a young person choose? Simply saving their money or investing it?
Okay, so I think that saving you are saving. Anytime you want to save, you are saving so that you can invest. So I would encourage people to invest. But you see, investment, is living my life. Because see your investment, don't see it that way you won't. Because see your investment, don't see it that way you won't put it. It has taken you about 5 years, 10 years to save that money. Yeah. And you have to negotiate your time, your energy, your resources, sacrifice what you can consume and to drive. Yeah. It is a piece of you that is the person is driving. Think about it. It's a piece of you. Yeah. But people see it that way, and that's how I see things. Okay. No. So first thing you must do is make profit. Yeah. Make money.
When it's very competitive.
Yes. Okay. So if you're not sure, don't eat very well, and knowing, have my people perish. It didn't say by lack of prayer. And I have experienced it. I wanted to go into guinea fowl. Okay. I wanted investing in that. So I entered into prayer. And one night, I don't sleep.
Against what?
Against maybe it's a true story. Some witches have invaded
guinea fowl for suya.
I was applying the. Then I said no. Go. Let me use common sense to say by lack of Google. Yeah. And then I started studying on guinea fowls. Trust me, I realized that it wasn't.
You should have just.
Okay. And I don't pray again, honestly. Who prays to cook rice? Because you know how to cook rice, you just enter the kitchen, know very well before you invest. So
know before.
You part that guinea fowls can survive.
So when you read
enough heat, that's all.
Enough heat. So did you sack your farm manager, the one who called you? Why is he a farm manager then?
No, he's not a farm manager to know everything. Okay. And then
yourself in the foot.
Yes.
You shot yourself in the foot.
Yeah. So I want people to. Investments are good, but the next thing is, if you want to do it, look for somebody who has done it before, who knows yes, and then request for enough knowledge before you part. And when you are parting also, don't put all your money in there. Yeah, so then when when something happens, then you can have a cashback to cushion you.
Okay.
It's very, very important.
Investment. Which areas would you allow?
And you have any other source of income already that are like commodities. Put it 100 Ghana cedis, can buy a gram of gold. You understand? So there are things that go on the market, find out, and then invest into those things. Yes, but if you don't have any other source of income, then go into highly consumable products. And then products that are also not perishable. That is what I did. Products that are not perishable, that can stay for about 8 months.
For instance, what was
Gary? Gary is non-perishable. Number 2, it can stay for 8
things you invest in apart from Gary.
Maize. You understand? All kokunte. Very good feed. And I'm telling you, anything, I am speaking from experience. Anything cassava is good. You won't lose. Even the cassava, they are livestock. So go into those things.
Right.
Yeah,
Rabbi,
that is if you're starting.
If you're starting.
Yeah.
And also, if you're starting, would you advise somebody who wants to invest to, add on a friend, say a joint venture? Would you advise that if you're a startup or you want to invest, would you advise that 2 or 3 people come together?
It's dangerous because then everybody has a stake in it. You understand? And this one will bring this idea, this one will bring this idea, and if you don't take time, it can slow down the business and you want to do. Not a greenhorn. All of you shouldn't be greenhorns. Pray some prayers, that will not work. Deep knowledge. Yes, it gives something like a chip with. It can destroy the business or the investment, or it can enhance the investment. Let me quote this from the Bible. What can happen to you? The people you surround yourself with, the surrogates, are people. It's a sign. They are a sign of what can happen to your life. Also, what can happen to the investment. So it's good to break. Synergy is good, but be careful the kind of people you...
That one is likely to encounter in starting up and going into investments.
That is it. You are competing. There are names on the markets. You understand? And if you don't take time to investigate of you failing is high. So the risk your time to enter, then you can minimize the risk. Now, when you want to minimize risk, this is the question you ask yourself. What is the worst thing that can happen to this investment? And ask questions. Always get the multitude of counsel, there is safety. So ask a lot of questions. That is what me well. Do you know I sell charcoal?
Rabbi, what do you not sell?
I sell charcoal, but I sell charcoal now. Even if you come to my house, I can sell.
Any risk when you...
coconut farm.
Okay, so Rabbi just added coconut farm.
Yes, I have a large coconut farm. And I didn't investigate well. So I just went to buy the coconut. Comes at night. The name is grass cutter. Grass cutter. And they eat coconut a lot during the night.
Let's see who's the real owner then.
They were the real owners, and they really ate my grass cutter very well. So now I realized that I needed to protect it with some weedicides, the smell that will expel them. So I lost money. That's why I am warning. Investigate and stop praying. Investigate, because you can't buy grass cutters from to lose. Lack of knowledge, investigating and knowing the risk in it. You also ask people who have been there, what is the best way to pay your investment? You understand? And I did it in 2018. I did it in 2019 again. Then 2020. So I lost it 2018, 2019, 2020. I couldn't do because of COVID. And then I repeated 2021. If I had gone to see somebody who was already the Hamatan, so it means that you have to put it into desban and soak the coconut nut. So I just said that coconut is good.
So, Rabbi, for you, you might have a scared to go into investment basically because of these things.
People are laughing at me over there.
Yes, they're saying you're praying before you decide, look, I'm going to go into investment here or here.
No.
Okay.
Have mentors. Have guys. I can't see our face. Somebody must see it for you. Where are your eyes? Can you see your face? So let somebody see your face for you. Let somebody guide you. You can lose or gain. But go and find out what they know that you don't know. Capacity, yes, your resilience, and then you face. You see, when you know, you are confident. You know what you are doing. So knowledge is very, very important.
Including in Bitcoins, to that venture. What's your take? How should they approach it?
Well, I don't know, and I do that personally. 10 cedis today is not 10 cedis safer. I'll go and buy safer and put it down. If the 10 cedis can go and buy $1, I'll go and buy that $1 and put it down. You understand? So yeah, that is how it's supposed to be. But the forex, they should go into it.
Right. Wrapping up.
Investing, you're not going to lose your money.
That's it.
Yes, because it's a part of you, it's a piece of you, and keep it. You understand? And always ask this question: how would I get my money? You can follow me on TikTok. Was the one on the screen.
Came on the screen.
Yes. And you go on. Somebody has come to pay for somebody. So nobody can get my coconut. Right. Somebody has registered.
Right. Thank you so much, Rabbi, for coming. This has been our conversation on the power of investment. See you tomorrow bright and early 5:55. Hasta la vista, baby.